All right, I think we should be live now. You have to let me know. I think I'm getting like a weird hiss, but I'll let you guys tell me in the audience if you hear the weird hiss. Try and cover it up with like some low background music. But morning all. Well, let's get this party started. Oh, you know what? We probably should turn on a camera or two. And some lights. Woo. All right. Good morning. There we go. Still kind of controlling everything with like a bunch of keyboards because my main system is basically what we're going to be redoing today. I'm taking Debian down and then just will be completely wiping out the regular system. I did KDE like on Tuesday and I didn't like KDE Neon. And I'm like, all right, let's just go back to the grandfather of it all. Go back to the basics, go back to Debian. It's going to be fun. So I was like, hey, let's just do some Debian installs today. And Debian is what basically everything in Linux is based off of, almost every distro. So that's why I'm choosing it. So let's get going on this. I'm gonna just pull up the main desktop screen, so you should see it here. Already got Ventoy loaded with Debian Live 10.9, so I think that's Buster. So nothing too cutting edge here. I'm just gonna go vanilla, stable, boring, but something that I want to leave this up for a long time. I don't want to do this again for a minute. So we'll see. Next week might be different. I've just been in a Distrohop mood lately. I was like, it's been a while since I tried out a bunch of distros. So with that, I didn't see anything bad about audio. So I think we're gonna rock it. I think I am gonna change up my audio a bit coming up this year and switch out my mixer. My mixer has a bunch of noise, I think, and it just has a really terrible amp. So Soundcraft. Meh. Let's get on the desktop and get rolling. All right, here we are. I got that up. I'm gonna just get my chat up so when I make a mistake, you guys can yell at me. That's always a fun experience live. If you're unfamiliar with Debian, Debian Live was basically the very first install I ever did on a live stream, and I did it when I had about 1,000 subscribers back in 2019. So that's the history behind this install, and Debian has never installed quickly for me or easily, and it's always just been a complete I've had just the worst luck. I had a USB drive that was bad. I had another instance where I think I was using like an NVIDIA driver, but no mode set wasn't set, and then it just ended up being this huge thing. So Debian has always been like my unicorn that just will not ever work. I've always loved it once I got it all going. It's just getting there has always been a pain. So it's always an entertaining live stream whenever I choose Debian, just because shenanigans always ensue. So with that said, let's get going here. This is going to be a blank install of Debian. I did pick the KDE non-free, so shouldn't be too bad. Famous last words. But oh yeah, this is going to be an older one. Let's see. You know what? I'm not even going to do the graphic installer. Oh, yeah, no. I've had so much bad luck with Debian's GUI installer that I'm just like, let's just go full on CLI on this guy. It's just what I'm more comfortable with. Most people will choose, not that. Did I pass English? Oh, American English at the top. How's everybody else doing today? I still have Rocky going. Rocky's more of a server install. So if I have something going that I need to just leave up for a long time, Rocky's what I use. Rocky Linux isn't necessarily a great desktop environment or like a desktop type style distro. It's more for a server to kind of set it and forget it. It's a CentOS replacement. But if you want to run it as a desktop, that's fine. Just know you're running a little bit older packages, and it's a little harder to get stuff. But I mean, by all means, it's still awesome. I will choose that as my primary. I still love Rocky Linux. And actually, I still have it on this machine, too. I have 3 different hard drives that I use for my different things. All right, here we go. Host name Parted Magic. That's weird. I'm not using a... This was directly from Debian's website, so that was odd. I will just call this KDE. We're going to just leave the host name. We'll go KDE PC. Domain name Titus. Whoa, it's kind of freaky that it knows me already. That's weird. All right, let's see. Set up users and password. The root blah, blah, blah. Should not have an. If you leave this empty, the root account will be disabled, and the system's initial user. Yeah, we want to leave this actually blank. This is kind of one of the weird setups about Debian. You always want to kind of leave root blank. That way it disables the root account as login. Because you don't run as root. Although they do make some good t-shirts. Thanks so much for the super tap, JD. Chris, love the videos. Keep them up. More home server lab stuff would be sweet. Yeah, man. I'm down for that. I do have something really cool that I've been working on that I will be doing here in a little bit. Full name of the user. Okay. I don't even care about that. Username of your account. Oh, what should we name this? We'll just call it Titus. That's fine. Technically, if you're looking for privacy and security, don't use your name for your user. Use like a pseudonym, but I frankly don't care. Choose a password. We'll do that. Yeah, I got something fun though. I'll wait for the copying of files. Once the copying of files happens, I'll show you some fun shenanigans that I've been up to, because my Fire Stick has been... I hate Fire Sticks. Like, Amazon makes the worst Fire Stick television attachment in the world. I stand by that statement. I've had like 2 or 3 of them, and they just are complete dog crap. And yeah, so we're going a little bit different. I have something else here. Oh, let's see. You know what? I think we're gonna use LVM on this one. Why not? Let's just go ahead and do... Oh, as far as encryption goes, I need to make a video about BitLocker and Windows. So for any Windows users out there, they've done some kind of update when you sign in with your Microsoft account that if it's on a laptop of some sort, I've had it happen to 3 laptops at work, where they just automatically encrypt it with BitLocker, and then whenever a system update or a feature update kicks off on that laptop, it'll go ahead and require the BitLocker ID to be entered, and you have to basically go to their website and sign in with your Microsoft account to get the BitLocker ID, and you drill down through some stuff. It's kind of funky, man. I'm just like, what? What were they thinking, man? Oh, let's see. Separate home partition. And nah, let's just do all files in one. Write changes. Yes. Oh, I should have probably looked at that. Oh, well, whatever. It's early in the morning for me. And I don't do well in the morning. So we're just going to write those changes. Be done with it. Debian Live is easier to then install. Yeah, you know, for me, I've done so many servers that I like the CLI interface better than the GUI. So for me, it's actually easier to do it this way, as it just kind of like walks me through it a little bit better. I don't know, maybe I'm just old school in that regard. Probably most people live installs better, but meh. Like I said, I've had so many problems with Debian in the past. I don't want to chance it, so I'm like, I'm just going to go to the CLI immediately. Oh, yeah. So now the files are copying. I wanted to... Let's see. chat. Check this out. All right. So I got something special here. This is pretty cool. So, first up, boom. Gonna get like a little Jetson Nano, right? This is about 60 bucks. Focus. Yeah, right there. 60 bucks. Power supply. And then this is, I guess, some sort of plexiglass kit or something to a housing unit for the Jetson Nano. But what I'm going to do is hook all that up and then grab something like this. Now, this is just like some janky Amazon thing. Don't buy this exact one because I haven't tested it yet. But it was like 10 or 20 bucks off Amazon. And I don't know how good this will be. But what I want to do is do all of this together, do LibreElect on it, and then set up my own alternative to a Chromecast or a Fire Stick or NVIDIA Shield, whatever it might be that people use, and just do it all through this. And I think that would be pretty sweet. You know, what do you guys think on that as far as that goes? And if it makes a good video, I'll definitely do a video about it. I just kind of want to do that. Hey, what's up, Sparky? I see you. Kari. It's awesome. I forgot to make a post about this live stream. Why Debian? Well, it's like the OG, man. It's been around forever. Everything's based on it. It just works. You know? You can't beat it. So that's why I love it. And it's rock solid. Like, if you go with Debian, it's pretty stable. I mean, I don't really like it for servers except for like test environments and things like that. Where again, Rocky Linux is a rail-based spin, and I know that's going to be pretty good for servers going forward. So that's kind of like my new jam for my servers. But for my desktops here at the studio, man, it's been a while since I've done Debian, just vanilla Debian, and I'm just gonna rock it because I mean it's pretty solid. All right, let's do network mirror. Let's go back to the desktop here. We're gonna pick our mirror. We don't need a proxy, and we'll do some updates. I think Bullseye is what I'm rocking here. Or, no, I think this is 10, actually. So this might even be Buster. I don't even know. We'll take a look at the apt repositories once we get in to the desktop and see what we got. What do you recommend to do after installing Debian? Well, there's a lot of things to do after installing Debian. So we're going to just kind of walk through a complete setup of Debian. Debian's not exactly noobish friendly. Last time I installed it to where there was a lot of setup afterwards, but there's a reason why everyone bases their distro off of Debian. And Ubuntu's based off of Debian, you know, and a lot of things are based off Ubuntu. So that's kind of the gist of it. Stability wise. Can you try switching to OpenSUSE Tumbleweed again? I don't know, man. I have no desire to go back to the SUSE ecosystem. I do like Yast a bit and some of the little quirkiness of it, but just not my jam. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know, Sparky. I did say, hey, I'd email everybody. This is just kind of like a spur of the moment kind of setup. That's kind of why this happened. I was like, do I stream this? And I was like, might as well stream the install for folks that haven't seen it, I guess. So it'd be kind of fun in that regard. See, I still got my Rocky Linux there. You got your Windows. We're gonna have to pimp out our grub a little bit more than this, though. Oh, let's see here. Do we have a problem? We might have black screen problem here. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think we got a problem. All right. Oh. Oh, no. There it goes. Okay. Well, that was odd. All right. APT update. Let's see what we got. I had to do Control Alt F2 because I didn't see anything. And I am using Buster. Crap. I downloaded the wrong one. Oh, well. We're just going to roll Buster. I don't care. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is a bit old, though. I would like Bullseye. I should have probably gone Bullseye on this. Because this is pretty old. Look at the kernel, too. Kernel's 4.19. So... I don't know. I could just switch it to SID and just update everything. Should we do that? Switch to SID. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, why not? I mean, that's going to be entertaining at least. I rock SID for like 6 months. It's pretty darn good. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, this is Buster to SID, guys. Don't do this at home. This is not a how-to guide. This is just for entertainment purposes only. Oh, man. That's funny. All right, let's install some Vim. I need my Vim. Just use Windows. That's no fun, man. That's just no fun. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, APT. Nope, I think it's let's go into etc, and we're gonna need cd apt. Okay, and let's take a look at our sources.list. And this is not gonna be good. Oh, let's see. How to break stuff. This is a tutorial on how to break things. So, oh, this is read only. Okay, oops. And we'll go there. Insert SID. Insert SID. Now, I think for updates, I don't think I need some of these repositories. Oh, well, let's just replace them all and see what we get. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sparky. Always helpful. Let's just go. Ah. There we go. I'm still a Vim noob. No, I don't really know Vim. I just use it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then, yeah, sometimes it just goes awry. All right. So with that done, let's just do a sudo apt update. Let's see what happens. Any wrong or errors. So SID error updates, SID-updates release isn't a thing. We'll remove that repository. Yeah, I think I only need the first two. All right, so the repository security SID updates and also the repository SID updates, SID-updates. All right, I think we're good. We'll just come back into sources list. And this one, we're just gonna go 3dd, remove that. Do I need to get rid of the security as well? No, I think that's I'll leave that. Sudo apt update. No, security's not finding anything either. Yeah, somebody. Someone's in the front door and mom wants to use it. Okay. 1 second. I got somebody at my front door. Just leave me alone. Ah, jeez. Ah, we're in the middle of a live stream. How rude. He's like, no, the Linux police are knocking. True. All right, let's go security. Let's get these two out. I think it's just those two we need. Based on the errors, I was looking at the updates. And this is actually a good little teaching tool as far as that goes. All right, we're going to upgrade 2,500 packages. Yeah, okay. What's the worst that could happen? I think I did this once before, and I bricked the system. So let's see what happens. Don't do this at home, kids. Don't do that. It was either the Linux police or the Vim police, or the Debian police, because we're just breaking all the rules this morning. Yeah, it was actually DT. He drove over from Louisiana, knocked on my door, and was like, "Hey, what the hell you doing, man? You're installing 2,500 packages." Or no, upgrading 2,500 packages. I don't know. I mean, SID's usually pretty quick, but I mean, a lot of people say SID's like bleeding edge, like a rolling release, kind of like Arch, but it's really not. You'd be surprised how little things break in SID. I would say there's more breaks in Arch than there is in actual Debian SID. Teach us writing zeros in the hard drive. Ah, that's so good. So good. Yeah, wipe it out the like UEFI or the EFI partition. France is in the house. Do Wayland replace Xorg or we need more time for Wayland to develop? Man, just in case, that's a good question about Wayland and Xorg. And the answer to that question is Wayland has supposed to take over for like a decade, and it just hasn't yet. So that's just kind of where we're at. No, this is Debian Bloated Edition. KDE free from Buster. This is just the worst install you could possibly do. Like I said, it's always a disaster zone whenever you get me and Debian in a room and I install it. I find the worst way to do it. I say, hold my beer, I'm gonna screw this install up. That's just how I rock with Debian. I love it. But yes, it's direct from Debian's website, debian.org. Have you tried out WSL-G on Windows 10? Oh, you did try it out. It supports Wayland only. Oh, that sucks, man. That's a deal breaker for me. I still don't like Wayland. How to properly use xrandar. You can't use xrandar with Wayland. I'm sure there's some kind of alternative, but a lot of tools in Linux are built with Xorg in mind, not Wayland. And you can't use those the X11 tools on Wayland. That's why I really don't like it. I like X11 forwarding, or, oh man, there's just so many different things. And I know Xorg better than Wayland too. Not to, it's just one of those things. Eventually we'll probably have to switch, but, you know. Oh, that sucks. That sucks, Akari. Yeah. Hold my beer, slams head on the keyboard. Install done. That's pretty much what we're doing on this install. This is not an install I would recommend or say you should do this. And it's a live stream, so this is for entertainment purposes only. For sure. Did you try Garuda Linux? No, I mean, I need to. I really love Garuda's just default install, and it just looks beautiful out of the box. So Garuda's great. I mean, if you're new and you want to get into the art side of things, I would start with Garuda Linux just because of how beautiful it looks, and the team has actually done basically what I've been making fun of Linux forever for, because Linux has so many great utilities and it can look beautiful, but out of the box, most Linux distros just look like complete crap. And Garuda took that and it's like, you know what, let's make it look beautiful. Let's go ahead and take the time and put a little TLC in this, and they did great. And if you want to get into Arch, Garuda Linux, I think, is a good starting spot. And if you don't like Garuda Linux, I mean, there's always Manjaro and some other ones you could get on that side of things, which is good. Which I still love Arch for what it is. Garuda is bloated, yeah. But, I mean, that's kind of by design. It just wanted to make the convenience and ease of use for those new folks. Yeah, I think did we ever do a SID update? I want to say I've done this before, but I can't remember what happened after I did it. Going from Buster to SID's kind of dumb, though. For sure. No, it's not kinda. It is dumb. Say something about educational qualifications. I think having some sort of higher education is important, whether that's a certification, technical school, or even college, depending on where you're at in the world. You can do what you need to do. You just to get a leg up. Once you get the experience, all the education, college, and all that stuff, nobody cares about. It's about getting the experience. Experience trumps all. So you just gotta get some experience, and that's why I always recommend folks setting up home labs and those types of things. Doing stupid stuff like this is actually a good practice and just kind of understanding things. Like this was editing repos and doing things probably you shouldn't be doing, but it's a good practice of what could happen to things. And then if you were ever out in the world and you saw errors or whatever it might be, you might think back to this and go, oh, well, maybe someone did something stupid and put SID on the repositories, and you can actually get that repertoire experience of that. I mean, I don't think anybody would do that in a production environment. I would hope not. But you just never underestimate the silliness of some folks. No, let's see. Do you want to change the home directory to IRC? Okay, yeah, sure. Restart services without asking. Yeah, go ahead. Have you tried Pop OS? Yeah, Pop OS is great. I'm not a big GNOME guy. It's just I don't like the workflow. If that's your jam, by all means, great. Pop OS is a fantastic distribution run by System 76 and their team. So, I love it. Does dual boot slow down laptop? No. I mean, I have my dual boot on my laptop in there, and I don't have any issues. I'm using K-Focus laptop still. I made a video about it. The most unique laptop, I think, is what the video name was. Still use that laptop every day. Rock solid. Love it. Yeah, I still use it. I mean, it's a little loud for some folks, I think. It's not exactly a quiet laptop, but it's very, very powerful. So that's kind of what my jam is. When you put a lot of power in a laptop, it's going to get a little loud. I still have Rocky. It's on another drive here, Isaiah. So I can easily boot into Rocky should I want to. Still love me some Rocky. Do you think installing Arch is more fun than Debian? Probably ARAM. Arch has so many cool little utilities and community-driven things that are just a lot of fun. I think Arch is great for learning. I mean, running for a daily driver, you got to be kind of on top of your updates and those types of things. So Arch, long term, if you're not constantly on your computer, maybe not for you. It just depends on you as a person. I would say most users would probably like more of a Debian base, more of a I would say more solid distribution. I know that's going to piss some people off, but it's just more stable because you don't have to be running your updates every week or every month. Honestly, you can just leave a Debian install alone and come back in a couple months and it's going to be fine. Where Arch, you're going to have some problems with probably your Pac-Man keys and some other things when you're not constantly in there and updating it. I always recommend dual booting starting off. if you're coming from Windows, or even, you know, honestly, even if you want to dual boot two Linux distros, this is actually a tri-boot. I have Rocky Linux, which is actually RHEL based or Red Hat based, and then you have Windows, of course, and then this is my main one. I kind of want to switch up my main one to more of a Debian based one. I had KDE Neon on this, and I just really didn't like how they had to do like PKCon and some other things with it. So that's the whole purpose of why I wiped it out. But I thought, hey, let's tinker around with it. Worst case, I just boot into my Rocky Linux. Because Rocky Linux, I could just leave alone for a year if I wanted to, and then just come back to it. Yeah, I mean, Pac-Man's not fun. The syntax in Pac-Man makes no sense. And you're just like, oh, okay. Upgrade from Sid to Arch. I mean, I do love the install process. I love how you get to be on that bleeding edge with Arch. What's your favorite desktop environment? I still love KDE. I'm actually going back to KDE from desktop environments. I was on Awesome for a bit there, and I kind of bounced around a little bit. I need to do a couple more videos on ricing your system. A lot of people have been asking about that, and getting back to it. It's just my last rice system that I did. I was just like, oh my gosh. It was a lot of work, and the video did pretty terrible. I'll still do it. I still love it. The Qtile rice. You know what? That's kind of what we're setting up. This is going to be the base system for Qtile rice. When I install Steam on Pop! OS, the GUI is so tiny. What's something wrong here? That sounds like a scaling issue, DNS. How long until you install Gentoo? I've installed Gentoo on a live stream, Joshua. It's just compiling everything, emerge, and some other little gotchas with Gentoo. It's not really fit for a daily driver. Gentoo can be very good. It's more of like a good example of what I use Gentoo for. Let's say I was setting up a ice cream shop or something like that that just had a POS and they wanted to throw some menus on some plasmas or something behind them. Gentoo would be perfect for that. Just throw up Gentoo, set up exactly what you need to make those menus appear, and then just leave it alone, and it's a minimal install. So Gentoo would be good for that, but for daily driver, not so much. Thanks so much for the super chat, Paul. Much appreciated, man. All right, let's reboot this thing and see if we bricked it. One of my friends installed Gentoo. Is he still on Gentoo, or did he finally move off into something that isn't Gentoo? Now, I didn't install any NVIDIA drivers, and I am using an NVIDIA card. So I imagine we're just going to get a black screen. No. No black screen. What? What is this? What is this? Did it work? That really, I did not test. What? What? You gotta be kidding me. That worked. Now. Wow. Linux used to be so much easier to break. I swear I've done this before and just completely bricked the system. All right. Yeah. That sounded that looked like it worked. Oh, you know what? Let's see. Drop down terminal. Let's do some drop down terminals, man. That sounds cool. Uh-oh. What? Okay. Let's give Discover another shot. I think on the last live stream we tried it, guys, and that was just internet disaster. Is there? I don't even know how to use Discover. that's how bad it is. Okay, let's update. Does it update? Update? Is there a hidden prompt somewhere? Nope. Alright, you suck. Alright, Discover still sucks. Let's go console. Where's that console at? That's funny. Yeah, I love KDE. I just hate the setup of it. It's just like the console's okay, but many of the other apps that come with KDE is just hot garbage in my opinion. Like GNOME, I don't really like the base of GNOME, but I love all the GNOME app ecosystems. Like GTK applications just look nicer. A lot of just the aesthetics of GNOME, I thought they did a great job with. I just hate the workflow, you know. That's my thing, you know. That's not necessarily bad. All right, let's go. You know, let's go blue on black. That's interesting. Oh, red on black. Nah, green on black. We're gonna go old school. And go up to 16. And we'll edit that profile again. What all can you do with this, I wonder? I need to, you know, you guys gave me so much crap for using Terminator last time. I think I'm going to just, let's try something new on the terminal. I think we'll use Yak and do a drop-down terminal. I feel like people would like that better. How's your experience with Mac OS? Oh, I have my M1 here, and actually that's what I'm looking on chat right here. Mac is a very predictable experience. It's boring. I don't necessarily like the GUI and the functionality of it, but once you get like Magnet and some other things installed on the Mac, it's not bad. And I love it for video edits. Final Cut Pro is just an amazing piece of software. But that's kind of where it ends. Like, there's not much I do on Mac. Yeah, it has some stuff. The M1 chips are ARM-based, so a lot of things just run like crap on it. Like, GIMP runs terrible. There's a lot of, things that are designed for x86 architecture that just runs like poo. But, I mean, for Final Cut, it's work. And for just displaying chat, like right now, I'm reading off of a Mac. So I'm using Mac right here. I have Linux. And then, of course, my stream PC is Windows, because I switched that to Windows for this guy. This guy is why I switched. I switched this over. You get 4 inputs. The Elgato suite, basically. I got like the lights. I mean, it's just so much easier than hanging these giant lights and all this other crap. And I was like, you know what? Elgato did a good job of just setting up a basic studio for relatively cheap. I think this was $300. The lights were like $100, and it's all just so minimal in design that I don't have to have a whole bunch of extra crap. And I'm like, you know what? That's good enough for me. So that's the gist of why I use Windows for that stream PC. Just mainly for the Elgato ecosystem. All right, let's see. Everyone says Lillicree. Should I give it another shot? Do I need to give a Lillicree another shot? Will you guys leave me alone if I do? I'm fine with that. All right, let's do console again. What happened here? What? Edit profile. There we go. Oh, now we so we updated 2,600 packages, and now we upgrade 1,215 packages. What? Oh, wait. What's going on here? All right, let's do an auto remove. The following packages. Oh, man, this is so jacked. Okay. Let's do an auto remove. Yeah, I was about to say, this went way too smooth. Let's do a... Is dist upgrade a thing in Debian? I don't think it is it? Oh, I guess dist upgrade is a thing. Okay. Well, let's do a dist upgrade. Well, I don't think I've ever used full upgrade. I've used dist upgrade a bunch. Yeah, Peter. I thought, hey, why not? How do I enable swap always on mode? Well, you can do swap files. I actually did a test on swap files to swap partitions. There's actually very little performance difference between the two. The big thing when you're using swap in any Linux distro is look at VM swappiness. I think it's in etc sysconf dot. I think it's I want to say sysconf or no syscontrol, which is sysctl. If you look in that file, you can do VM swappiness and change that. Typically, it's left on 60, which means swap file gets used quite a bit. If you have a lot of memory in your system, let's say you have 16 gigs and you're not using any VMs or anything crazy, then you can probably get away with just putting that down to like VM swappiness of like 5 or 10. However, if you don't have 16 gigs, a VM swappiness of about 60 is probably what you want to rock. Yeah, we'll probably do some Garuda. If I do another install, we'll do some Garuda. Why not? RM, RF. What's the V? I don't think I've used the V for verbose just to rub it in, just to hide what it's doing. Or you just don't want it to sit there on a blank screen with the cursor blinking. So it actually shows what it's doing. It's almost like rubbing it in when you put V in there. Yeah, swappiness to 5 on 32 gigs, 64 gigs. You know, honestly, Sparky, with 32, 64 gig systems, I would just say forget swap altogether. You know, I don't like TLP, Praz. I would just say if you're looking for better battery life on Linux than Windows, I would use PowerTop -Autotune. Let me type that in chat. Let's see here. It's power top dash. I think it's auto. I think there's 2 dashes to this syntax. I think that's basically what it looks like. But if you're running it in a laptop, I don't really like TLP much anymore. I remember I told people to install that for better battery life, and it does help. But I think PowerTop with Autotune does a better job. Don't install both together. Remove TLP and then just use PowerTop. And see what that gives you. That might help you out, bro. Oh, really? Disabling swap slows system down heaps, even with 32, 64. Wow, that's weird. Well, I'm glad you told me, Sparky. I've been just kind of avoiding swap altogether, so I'll make sure to just throw it in and then just toss my swappiness level down. Well, let's take a look at that, actually, once this finishes doing its thing. I have 8 gigs of RAM. Do I need swap? Yeah, you need swap at 8 gigs, for sure. You'll touch into that when you play a game or any big program. Hell, I think even GIMP, using a big image will mess that up. Yeah, OpenSUSE tumbleweed KDE. Yeah, I'm just not a big SUSE fan, as I said earlier in the stream. Swap with 8 gigs of RAM, you need swap for 8 gigs of RAM for sure. I couldn't imagine running it. GTK versus QT, which is better? I like both, but I like GTK's aesthetics better. I think GTK does a better job with the aesthetics. Which Linux is best for gaming? I'd say Arch. I do, as much as I crapped on Arch earlier in the stream, Arch is still the best for gaming, I think. Because you get a lot of that bleeding edge, you get the latest kernel, you get all that good stuff. What do you think about people using Linux and a VM on Mac OS? Hey man, you know, more power to you. I don't really crap on any OS. They all have their purposes these days. I mean, Windows itself, I Windows is just, I don't know what they're doing, but Microsoft like actively tries to scare people off of Windows. This past week at work, I had 3 laptops come in where Microsoft auto-enabled BitLocker and encrypted the entire laptops. So they auto-enable BitLocker when you sign into a Microsoft account on these laptops. One was a Dell, there was 2 HPs, and it blows my mind that, one, they'd encrypt the entire hard drive like that without even telling the user. And then 2, when if ever a feature update happened, it forced the person to enter their BitLock encryption key, which is, I think, like a 26-digit code or something crazy, or maybe it was 30 digits. It was excessive. But to get that code, you had to get on your phone or tablet or whatever and go to the like BitLocker Microsoft handoff or the security key, log into it, and then click on devices, and then you get your BitLocker code to enter in. It just blew my mind they didn't even tell the user about that. So I had users completely locked out of their laptops, and I was like, I know this sounds stupid, but you have to go to this website. You have to sign in, and it's going to give you a code, and you need to enter that code in. And walking people through that, I was just like, what are you doing, Microsoft? Are you like actively trying to destroy what little people like you? I just don't understand the logic. Like, you should be making things easier and better, but how haphazardly they've installed things and done upgrades, it's just complete crap. But yeah, anywho, sorry. Yeah, it's like the ransomware officially endorsed by Microsoft. That's basically what it is. Except they don't extort you for Bitcoin. So there's that. I haven't tried Archcraft, no. Oh, thanks, Virus. I'm glad. I'm trying to get some better content. So here's something funny. I don't think I do a very good job of putting my videos together. I just kind of toss them up and just kind of wing it. And I've done that for a long time. So I'm trying to get like better structure. And I don't know how many people watch Matt Diavella. He's a YouTuber, like professional YouTuber. And he had this masterclass course or something. I was like, hell with it. I'll just buy it. It's $300. So crazy sports. And it's supposed to explain all of YouTube to everyone. And I'm going through it right now, and I'm trying to make better videos, but some of the style and some of the stuff in there, I'm just like, that's a lot of work. So maybe, but yes, eventually I'll make better videos. I'm trying to get there, but I've come a ways. You know, a lot of the people in chat, you know, I've come a long ways from when I started, for sure. How's the corona situation? Pretty good, man. I think we have in Tarrant County, some of Texas isn't great, but Tarrant County, we're up to, I think, 80%. We're pretty much at herd immunity now. Most people are all vaccinated. They did a great job with the rollout. I mean, I just went down the street to like Walgreens and just walked right in, made an appointment, came back. It took like 5 minutes, and I was done. And that was it. I got the 2-shot one. I think it was Pfizer or something, but whatever. And yeah, so we're doing pretty good here. A lot better than, I know, places in India that are really struggling. So I'm pretty happy with all that. So the situation's really good here. Spends $300. That's a lot of work. It's good though. It's good. I'm always trying to get a little bit better. Trying some stuff. I did. Oh man, let me see if I can't show. I did get 2 cameras, so I'm gonna do like a secondary cam type situation. Which I don't know. Can I do it? I don't have my regular setup here. But in chat, let's see here. So we have that, and then, oh no, let me add this other camera, and I'll show you the 2 different scenes. So I'm trying to set this up to make it a little bit cooler, right? Video capture device, add existing, and I think it's this one. and properties. Ah. Kit, and then I want to say HDMI 3. Yeah. So, take this down to here. I can easily just go between the two. I'm not sure. It's kind of freaky. Like this one, you get like all up in your grill, and then you switch over to this guy. I don't know. It's just like a different tinkering with it. A, B, A, B, A, B. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But possibly something I'm working on. I kind of like the picture out of this one better, but that's like a Canon lens. Because this seems a little bit like in your face, but it has like the bigger blur effect. Like you can get crazy bokeh when you get like really close. That's kind of freaking people out, so let's not do that. Fun stuff. Week's going good, David. How's your week, man? Yeah, I wish I had a thread ripper like Hikari, I'll tell you that. Did you know Manjaro curates its own packages? You can't install Grub Customizer. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Manjaro, I love their team, and I've even talked to Philippe Mueller, that their lead dev, and he's a brilliant guy. But I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of how they do their packaging. I mean, in theory, by curating your own packages, it should make it more stable. But in my experience, it's not really that much more stable than regular vanilla Arch. So that's where I'm kind of like, eh. Have you tried running Kim Knight for Windows 7 and Windows 10 to run remote apps on Linux? No, I haven't. I'll have to check that out, though, 8-boy, 8-bit boy, or 8-bit only. Oh, man, we'll just call it 8-bit. Reminds me of the guy that's local. I think 8-bit's local here in the Dallas-Fort Worth. Which password manager do you subject for free? If you're looking for a free one to look on all your systems, I mean, I think you guys got it, Bitwarden. That's pretty much what a lot of Linux folks use. People always criticize me because I'm using a paid product. Are you reading chat? Well, maybe a little bit. All right, let's see. Reboot. Did I not hit restart? Did I already break this? I probably broke it. Broke it. Let's do sudo reboot. It needed a sudo reboot. It's broken. Oh, invalid link on my Amazon store. Yeah, I probably should take a look at that. Amazon, like, I know a lot of people on YouTube do really good with affiliate revenue, but I don't know. Like Amazon, I think at its peak, like in like November, December, I think I made like $150 or $200, and I'm just like, is that even worth it? Like, I could go, like, that's like 15 minutes of my time in a server room. I have a hard time justifying even shilling Amazon in my links below. You know, I have other links and I probably need to clean them up a little bit, but I don't know. Some things about YouTube, I'm just like, eh. I mainly do it for the interaction. It's a lot of fun. I try to keep my expenses as minimal as possible, and that way I can just do this and then do my day job, which I still love my day job, by the way. If you can ever cut your day job down to like a day or two, you're gonna be happy because then you have like the secondary purpose. It gives you like some variety, and I'm in a unique situation where I still have like full benefits and things like that. So even though I'm on call and other things, so I get calls every once in a while where it's not opportune, but not too bad. They're not that needy, and it's that's just a good little situation. I don't mind it at all. What do you think about chia plot farming? I'm doing that. I got some chia plots. I would say hold off till pooling happens though. I have about 200 terabytes I'm gonna throw at chia plot farming. So we'll see what happens. But I think I'm gonna wait for pooling really before I go all in on that, because any plots you make now probably won't be pool compatible, which means you're gonna have, it's like buying a lottery ticket right now. If you don't have a substantial amount of hard disk space and power to make the plots, then you're gonna be, oh man, you're really just go to Vegas, play the slot machine. That's basically what you're doing with that. That's why I'm like, you might just hold off till pooling comes around. But I'll make a video about it for sure. Hannah Montana Linux install. You know, they haven't updated Hannah Montana Linux in like 5 or 6 years or something. Rocky switching stream. I mean, we could just reboot into Rocky Linux right now, actually, guys. Let's see. I'm just gonna switch some stuff around here. Let's go global theme. Switch it over to dark. Let's go startup shutdown. Login screen. Let's grab some new login screens. The other one's super ugly. What are we feeling like today? Don't want a Mac screen. Crown SDDM. That looks cool. Oh, sugar candy looks awesome. I'm going with that. How secure is SID in your opinion? Like, if you're looking for security, Rocky Linux or a RHEL-based distro is your best bet. Mainly because you don't want to be on the bleeding edge of Linux kernels. Like, Rocky Linux is still using, I think, 4.18 as far as the kernel goes. So if security is your jam, being on the latest and greatest is not where you want to be. Trying to secure like an Arch is a futile effort. I think a lot of times you're going to want your more stable, secure base things. And I honestly would stay away from Debian too, just to give you an idea of the metrics between like a RHEL-based distro like Rocky Linux and just vanilla or Ubuntu. They've been exploited about 3 times as much. If you look at the vulnerabilities and the amount of them, you're going to see, I think, around 3,000 for Debian and about 1,000 for Red Hat Enterprise Linux distros. Again, like Rocky or CentOS and those types of things. And CentOS is kind of a thing. When I say Rocky Linux, I'm really saying CentOS, because CentOS Stream is not a distro. That's just garbage. So you only really want, Rocky or something like that. Does Debian support mice? Yeah, of course it does. Debian's good. Heck, look at this. We just did this massive install, and I did it all wrong, and it still works. That's how Debian is. You just can't break Debian. A gaming edition of Garuda Linux? I don't know, man. I mean, it's not like... I don't think I'd use Garuda as my main daily driver. I'm kind of over Arch as my main daily driver. All right, let's see here. GNU plus Linux. That's so dumb. I always thought that was stupid. Like, I mean, there's so many of the things that go into it. Just call it Linux, man. Unless you're trying to scare people away, which pretty much most of the Linux community tries to scare people away. Let's be honest here. Thanks for the super chat, Antonio. Is it possible to game on Debian? Let's you know what? That's a great question. Let's in honor of your super chat, sir, let's game on this. Let's do some Steam installs. Oh, first let's set our global hotkeys though. Custom shortcuts. Let's do shortcuts. Dolphin, Meta E, that's fine. Yeah, Spectacle's already installed. KWin. All right, let's close window. I like to add Meta Q. And I'm just going to change a couple different things here. Are there any RHEL-based distros that are suitable for a daily driver? A lot of people love Fedora. I'd say Fedora if you want to be on the bleeding edge. If you want something stable, Rocky Linux. Those are really the two options I'm going to give you. If you want RHEL-based for security and privacy, I would say Rocky is really where you want when you're talking about security, because as soon as you go to the bleeding edge, you're opening yourself up to vulnerabilities, because a lot of those kernels and those types of things, they happen so quickly that they can't get vetted properly. So that's where I'm at with that. All right, let's move some of this around. Switch to desktop. I like to change these out. Yep. I just kind of do this like a tiling window manager, basically. Oops, nope. Meta 3, and then Meta 4. And then switching the window. Let's go. All right, window to desktop 1. Window to desktop 2. Desktop 3. And desktop 4. But Rocky doesn't have a GUI installer. Okay, first off, if you need a GUI installer, Rocky Linux is not for you. there's gonna be so many things when you get into like dependency resolution and other things that you're gonna just be like, why did I do this? So yeah, it's not really that. How did you break Arch last time? Oh man, I don't know. I've broke Arch many different ways. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's just a personal preference. Like, if I break Arch, I'm usually doing it on purpose. But I mean, my Arch, this last time I wiped it out for KDE Neon on Tuesday. And it's just because I wasn't using it. I really wasn't using my Arch. I was just like, eh. And I found myself going into Windows more, and I was like, what's wrong with me? I think got like Stockholm syndrome. So, let's see here. Got all that. That looks good. Now we just need to add application shortcuts. Oh, yeah, you guys wanted me to do a Lillicree too. Let's install a Lillicree, shall we? Since you guys have been harping on me about that. Everyone's like, use a Lillicree. Everyone uses a Lillicree. You're not cool unless you're using a Lillicree. Bah, fine, leave me alone. Oops. However, following places. Really? All right. How do you remove all the bloat? I mean, to remove bloat, see what you don't like about it. Like, let's remove some of the bloat here. Let's see. Contrast. That's pretty terrible. I don't know if we can remove some of this, though. Like Kmail. Can I even remove Kmail? Like, remove Kmail. See, this is going to remove task KDE desktop, Kmail, KDE standard. So I can't really remove that. So some of this is baked in. There's a meta install you can do. So a lot of times when you see me building out my desktop, I always install the server version, because then I can choose a different one than KDE standard. And once you have KDE-standard installed, you're gonna have a hell of a time moving to like KDE Meta. Let's see, KDE apt install. Did I miss something? I thought I did auto remove. Did I not? Okay. We're automatically no longer required. Okay, maybe it just needs a reboot. Let's just give it a reboot. Bill Gates runs KDE. That's not true. Don't you speak about KDE like that. Why don't you upload more privacy content stuff? I don't know. I guess I could, but it's just there's already a lot in the space, and I guess I could do a lot better, but it's just not that interesting. And honestly, it'd be a little hypocritical of me too, just mainly because I'm not very privacy oriented as a person. Hell, I'm on YouTube and my channel name's Chris Titus. So, that's kind of why I wouldn't, because it'd be like me do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. So that's, I guess, why I kind of steer clear of a lot of privacy stuff. I still like it, and I still understand it quite a bit, but yeah. Let's see, David, thanks for the super chat. Check out Carly Arch from the Acro Linux project. Acro Linux is amazing, yeah, that's good. If you want a good GUI installer for Arch. Yeah, Acro Linux has been around for a while. Ask Eric Dubois where to find this sub-project. I can't link it here in chat. Man, I wish I could figure out how to enable links in chat for just select people. That would be amazing. But again, the downsides of streaming on YouTube. Do you watch Linux Tech Tips? Occasionally, I'll catch a video here or there. I don't watch a lot of their videos. They just have a lot of content. But occasionally something will pop in my feed, and I'll check out Linus. Use IRC, then people can post links. Yeah, I think RWX Rob uses that. I mean, I don't think he's a clown. Linus is... you got to remember what Linus is, man. He's a media guy. Linus Tech Tips is always founded as a media company, and he's not a technician. He's not in those things. I mean, he can build a computer amazingly. I'm sure he could build a computer better than I, because he's built thousands of different custom PCs. It's just a different kind of jam, you know? And he's been on YouTube for 10 years. He's made like 5,000 videos, and that's his main thing is, hey, he's very, very good at that. And far better than me when it comes to content creation and those types of things. So I think he gets a lot of hate. As soon as you get big, you always get hate. That's just how it is. Thanks for joining the members, Antonio. Much appreciated. Yeah, in the members too, by the way, guys. I archive all my live streams over to there. I have to leave them unlisted, and I usually put them in a members playlist. After a week or so, I usually take them and just put them in members only. So if you want to see like past live streams and that type of stuff, that's kind of what I do for a lot of the members, and I do a monthly video as well, just kind of giving some background stuff. Well, I don't think he's a fanboy, Microsoft fanboy. It's just what he knows. There's no harm in that. Like, you go back 3 or 4 years, you can call me a Microsoft fanboy, because that's all I knew, really. I knew Linux Server, but the desktop, I never really... I used desktop for just as a one-off for like a terminal or something, but for the most part, Linux Server was always my jam. And I would set those servers up, but I would be interfacing with the like SSH on those servers using PuTTY on Windows for the longest time. So, I by all means, that's my background. So I don't call anybody a fanboy because they like certain things. Yeah, we hate you too. I love you guys. It's probably why I do so well. That's why I do so well on YouTube. I feed off negativity. It's like my superpower. It makes me more powerful when people say you can't do something. Is there any good nightlight for Debian? I don't know. Does it come with that was it like a flux or a what is the temperature thing? I want to say it does, but well, let's continue customizing here. I think I was doing a Lilicree actually. Let's go console. Well, that's not at all what I wanted. All right. All right. We finally have gotten to the point where everything's up to date after the botched install. How many packages do we have? Let's see what our package count is. I bet it's like 3,000 or something. I have done auto removes. I think let's just do a neofetch real fast. Yeah. Oh, that's so bloated. Oh. And I haven't even installed any of this stuff I usually rock. 3,000 packages. Woo. Doggies. That's going to make people cringe. Yeah, we're going to leave it. What'd you pick if you got 2 computer, 1 Debian, 1 Arch? Debian. That's not a question. Mainly just because Debian is something where if I'm doing my daily driver work on, I just kind of want it to work. And Debian's just so predictable. That's the reason why. Arch is kind of a shifting target. You get a lot newer stuff. It's a lot. I would say Arch is funner to use, but Debian's more stable because it just doesn't change as much. So that's the differences. So which is right for you? That's why you need to make the decision. The one thing I always try and tell people, and why I make videos, and my videos are kind of like all over the place, because I always think you should be having fun when you're on a computer. Have fun doing whatever it is. And, I could probably just make a million Windows debloat videos and, kill it on YouTube. But that's only, I don't have a lot of fun when I'm on Windows. And I don't really enjoy a lot of that type of stuff. Occasionally I'm like, oh, you know what? I already am doing this. I might as well make a video about Windows debloating. But the reason why I don't just stick on Windows debloating is mainly because it's not as much fun for me. I don't have that joy that I get when I'm like in Linux. And I think technology should be fun. And that's the reason why I'm always in and out. There's still stuff I use Windows for work and that type of thing. But Debian and Linux in general, I just have a lot of fun with. And that's important. I think it's important to just have fun with the technology. I'm not saying one operating system's superior to another or any of that elitism crap that you run into. I just think you should have fun. And if you're not having fun, why are you doing it? And if it's for work and you're getting paid, well, that's one reason. But, it's just different things. It's my main philosophy, though, these days is just have fun. You got to have fun. You got to be passionate. You got to love what you're doing. If you can. If you can't, just try and get through it, just sludge through that crap until you get to the other side. Got to Shawshank it. How long have you ever gone with a reboot on your personal machine? Ooh, probably a month or two. I'm constantly doing crap Al on my machine that I reboot quite often. I've had servers though. I've had a server up for like 5 years without a reboot, and I've seen servers up for 10 plus years without a reboot. Make memes on Linux. Oh yeah, like the one thing I've really kind of, I think if you follow me for any period of time, probably the funniest thing about that is things that I hated in the beginning, I absolutely can't live without right now. That's probably one of the funniest things about this whole experience and just learning different things. When I first moved to Linux desktop, I hated GIMP. I absolutely had to have my Photoshop. I was obsessed with that. And then now I can't stand Photoshop. Just give me GIMP. Literally had systems where I had Photoshop and GIMP installed, and I would use GIMP instead of Photoshop. because once you get into like the script foos and a lot of the scripting behind it, I never doing anything too crazy in Photoshop. I'm sure some graphic artists out there are just cringing, but for the average person that's just doing like a YouTube thumbnail or whatever the menial edit that design you need, man, GIMP is so great once you get used to it. And going back to like my original 30 days, I pulled it up the other day and I flipped through it and I was like, oh my gosh, I just roasted GIMP for 30 days basically. And now I can't live without it. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to see that evolution. Lilicree. Did I not? What's the Lilicree package on here? Yeah, I'm a GIMP simp. That's great. Yeah, Windows gaming is the big thing, Peter. Oh, it's not in the Debian repos. Oh, okay. Hey man, don't put your TeamViewer stuff in here. That's not cool. Okay, you're getting banned. Oh, there you go. Never mind. Akari got it. Now you miss Arch? Nah, not really. Well, let's see. With Arch, it would just be a done. You know. So there's that on Arch. That's funny though. Let's. Do we have internet here? Yeah, we got Firefox. Let's just install Brave. I like my Brave. Enough. It's not like, ooh, so awesome, but you know, it's awesome enough for me. There's no real browser that I just love. There's no browser I'm like, hey, you guys should be using this. Thanks for joining members, Aram. Aram's followed me everywhere on the live streams. Always great to have him in chat. Yeah, Sparky, I was trying to do moderation. Trying being the key word there. Oh. Yeah, I used Vivaldi for a little bit. I like the design, the layout and stuff, but there was just I ran into some bugs and it started getting really slow on me. So that's why I switched from Vivaldi to Brave. And I know a lot of people were shilling Brave like a year or two ago, mainly because if you like join Brave using my link, you'd get paid in BAT cryptocurrency, which is awesome. I mean, it was a lot of BAT. Looking back, I probably should have held on to some of that, but actually, I think I switched to Bitcoin, so I've still made out pretty good. However, I think they stopped that at the end of 2020. So that's probably why you don't see Brave very much anymore, where it used to be shilled all the time because they killed that program. But I still like it as a browser. I said it back then when I was getting paid, and now that I'm not getting paid, I still like it. I still use it. But, you know, to each his own. Like I said, there's no real browser I'm like, hey, you gotta use this. Brave still has its problems. Ah, so bright. All right, and let's kill system titles and bars. Perfect. And then we need to add custom shortcuts. I like to shortcut everything, and then we can just kind of fly around in here, which makes it a lot easier. Oh, they ran out of bat to give out. Oh, that's good to know, Makari. I just figured they were like, all right, we've hit market saturation. We're good. That's funny, though. Yeah, so what I did, ARAM, with the members videos, if you're looking through them, I actually took a lot of my opinion piece videos and all that different stuff, and I just kind of archived them off to members only, mainly to kind of make the channel, like if you look at my channel content, a lot of it more just cleaned up. And I usually go back through videos that were more opinion based, or maybe there's not a lot of value for someone just discovering the video for the first time, or the channel for the first time. So a lot of times I'll go back through and just archive them off to members only. It makes it screws up like my socials and that type of thing. So like any kind of company looking at my channel, a lot of times go, wait a second, he just lost millions of views. A lot of times I'm just take off those videos that I don't feel like contribute a whole lot of value to someone new trying to learn a skill. Because I think at the very first thing of it is I always want people to learn a new skill, whether that's Linux or anything really. What knowledge did you teach your son and not have your son just go away from all this? I try and just say, hey, here's all the cool things you can do. Like I said, it goes back to that fun type thing. Having fun is really the most paramount thing when it comes to computing. Can you say the name Samir? Yeah. I mean, usually I screw up names. I feel like I nailed that name, though. I'm pretty bad with my English. Fun fact, in high school, I barely graduated English class. I was very good with math, but English, not so much, surprisingly enough. Or not surprisingly enough. Waves from Sweden. Oh, that's cool. What part of Sweden you from? I visited just north of Gothenburg, Martin. A little more than a decade ago. It was about an hour north of Gothenburg, actually. Some really beautiful places out there. I stayed kind of on the coast and drove out to like this castle on like a little island. It was freaking cool. Like it was probably 500 years old. It was awesome. What do you think of WSL? Think Canonical is the devil still? Or good for a new Linux community? I mean, I'm not a big fan of any company Linux distro. I'm really into Linux community distros these days. But I mean, Ubuntu's fine. And honestly, back then I said that tongue-in-cheek. There's just a lot of things that Canonical does that I just don't agree with. Snap packs, as much as people want to be snap packs okay, to me it's just, it feels weird having a closed ecosystem, a closed server backend that can be turned into a store with proprietary software on Linux. It just feels dirty. And if you want to use snap packs, more power to you, man. I mean, that's totally okay. It's just, you're just never gonna sell me on it. It just, again, feels weird. And that's coming from, I still use Windows, man. So take it with a grain of salt. Like I said, different strokes for different folks. But I'm just not a big fan of Canonical. And I never will be. And that pisses off a lot of people. And I probably should be, because I'm sure it's cost tons of sponsorship opportunities, and many brands just won't talk to me because of my stance on Ubuntu and Canonical. A missed opportunity, some would say, but for me, I'm just like, I just don't like them. And, you know, that's okay. And if you like them, cool. There's nothing wrong with them. From like a religious standpoint, I don't think they're the actual devil. I just not my jam. I don't really like them. They've done some crappy things that I just never really got over, and they continually just close off the Snap ecosystem. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave that. Does your son use Linux? Yeah, most of my family does. It's the person that doesn't in my house is my wife, My wife does not use Linux because she likes these really obscure hidden object games. And yeah, that's like her jam. She'll just load up one of these crappy games that are Windows only, and she runs through it. You know, she'll do one of those a week kind of thing. So hey, it's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean Windows by far for sure. Like between Windows and Ubuntu, I would take Ubuntu every day of the week. So let's clarify a couple things. I it makes it sound like I would choose Windows over Ubuntu. Uh, there's versions of Ubuntu I like. Kubuntu I think has a great team. I like the spin of Kubuntu, and my K Focus laptop uses Kubuntu inside. However, I do modify it a little bit as I don't like snaps, but I just remove snaps. So like if, let's say there was snaps on here, I would just do like a sudo apt mark hold snapd. And then obviously you can check to see if it's installed. I don't think it's installed by default, but let's just say it was. Yeah, there's no snap installed. Oops. Grep snap. Yeah, there's no snap installed. Libsnappy, I don't know what the hell that is. But snapd is the package you got. So, you know, I just usually just flush out any snaps. I usually just do like a snap list, remove any snaps on the system, and then I just do a sudo apt remove snapd, remove that, and then I do my apt mark hold. That means, hey, hold this package. I don't want that coming back. And then it just holds it. So with anything in Linux, every distro, everything in it, there's certain things I don't like about certain ones. And that's okay. The beauty of Linux is you can just customize it. You can't do that with a Mac. You can't do that with a Windows. The thing that makes Linux awesome is you can just make it however you want. But some people don't want that. Some people just want a consistent experience. And probably when it comes to consistent experiences, you can't get any more consistent than Mac. Mac's super boring, and I hate its interface, but it's consistent, and it consistently works. And as far as privacy goes, it's way better than Windows. So that's why I'm like, if it's between Mac and Windows, I'm like, just probably choose Mac. You're probably better off. But if you're a gamer, yeah, still got to do Windows, man. You know, it's just how it goes. Chess. Yeah, we can do some chess. I'd love to do it. We'll do some community chess after we're done setting up everything. All right. Enough wasting time. I think Lilicree, Debian. Everyone wants a Lilicree. Let's go to its GitHub install. We'll grab that guy, paste that in there. Oops. We need that as sudo, please. Are there any alternatives to Microsoft Store? Pretty much everything on Windows is an alternative. Just don't use the Microsoft Store. Yeah, lichess.org is amazing. I love me some lichess. Lichess. Oh, Hikari, as far as my PCI pass-through, I really want, for my next adventure build, basically, I'm going to get a full-blown Threadripper system with a ton of PCIe available, and then I'm going to throw probably 3 cards in there, and that way I can run all the OSs on one system, and then just pass through that PCI, and then just have an all-in-one system that is very, very powerful. When will that be available? I don't know. Whenever GPU availability comes back and all the other stuff that I need to make that happen. Who knows when that'll be? Probably sometime in 2025. Where I just pay a scalper, which I just refuse to do. All right. If you'd like to build the version... Oh, I don't need to build it. I think... Let's go prerequisites, building, post-build. Do they even have just a release for Lilicree? I think they probably have releases. Let's just download the deb file. Where are you at? Oh, no, they don't have a deb file. Huh. Strange, okay. Never mind, let's go back to install. Continuing on. If all goes well, binary should be here. All right, so we're gonna do cargo build release. Oh, actually, let's, we need to grab the Git project. This is such a pain. Why do people like Lillicree so much? Y'all are weird. There's some weird things about Linux users. I mean, I'm just saying. It's fine. I mean, Terminator works just fine. Making people rage is like I love it. All right. Yeah, you know, the AUR's nice and all. That's, you know, there's some good things about the AUR, but it's, you know, it's fine. Do I not have cargo installed? I thought I did. Dependencies. Did I not grab cargo? Maybe their documentation just didn't have cargo as a dependency. Okay. Kitty. Okay, Sparky. I listen to Sparky because he is smart. Kitty. All right, let's see what Kitty terminal is. All right, I like this. Yeah. Kitty, a fast, featureful, GPU-based terminal emulator. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Quick start. Binary install instructions. I like it. See, look at this. Let's do that. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to go back. We're going to do a RM, RF, Lillicree. And then, let's just install this Kitty business. Let's see what Sparky's all about. Okay. Oh, Kitty's in the okay. It's in the Debian repos. Okay. So why didn't anybody tell me about this beforehand? All right, so now we gotta configure it. Desktop integration. Link that. Okay, make directory. Path. I'll try and do the fix up of this here in a second. R just means recursive. RF means recursive force. So if there is anything that pops up, it's just gonna say, yeah, you're getting deleted anyways. So that's what's up with that. All right, so we made our symbolic link. Place the Kitty desktop file somewhere where it can be found on the OS. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Let's do that. And then update the path to the Kitty icon in the Kitty desktop. All right, cool. Let's do that. All right, that sounds good. Customizing the install. You can specify different install. I don't care. Already installed. That done. All right, cool. So it's installed. Everything looks good. Moving back. Pretty painless. Now configuring Kitty. Control Shift F2. Really? Configuring. Okay. Highly customizable. All right, so let's try first Control Shift F2. Okay, that's fine. Just give me all of that. Yeah, it's looking good. I like this better than a Lillicree, that's for dang sure. All right, font size. Let's go, you know, I like to make it easy for y'all. So let's go font size 18. Force letter, no, blah, blah, blah. Just line height, I don't think we need to do anything with. Font features mode. Now installing the fonts is going to be interesting. But you know what? Let's just save this out. Let's quit. And then let's launch Kitty. Oh, Kitty's not on here. What? All right. Let's reboot. Reboot. Or, you know what? Let's just log out, actually. We don't need to reboot. This is in Windows. KDE just needs to be updated, though. All right, now, Kitty. All right, there's our Kitty. Everybody should be able to see that. Now let's make it look pretty. Let's do some ZSH customization and that type of thing. Self-hosting OpenVPN doesn't work with sites like BBC. So what would you recommend that would work for self-hosting? You could try a bunch of different things with that. I would say WireGuard, probably a newer up-and-comer one. You could do a 0 tier to originate from there as well. That's a good one. Yeah, check out those two, WireGuard and 0 tier. Instead of using OpenVPN, just please don't use like PPTP or L2TP. Those are just garbage. I don't even know why they still exist. They should be outlawed. They are not secure at all. At all. They're ancient. All right. Let's do this. Kitty customization. So Control-Shift F2. We've got our customization back. So now let's make this look better. Scroll lines. I don't know. I think I'm feeling like 10,000. That sounds good to me. What do y'all think? Scroll multiplier, touch now. No. I don't need any multipliers. I like it to go slow. All right. Detect URLs. Oh, that's cool. Can I just erase that? Copy on select. Oh, cool. Yeah, let's just put yes. Sounds good to me. Just let me know if I'm screwing up here, Sparky. Let's see. Focus follows mouse. Nah. Good on that. Performance tuning, repaint, input delay. We'll leave all that stock. Terminal bell. What kind of masochist wants a terminal bell? I have to disable that on every OS. Having a terminal ding is maddening. I don't understand why anyone would do that. Let's go remember Windows size. Yes. Enable layouts. Cool. Draw minimal borders. Yeah. Minimal borders are awesome. Active border color. Inactive border. You know, that's kind of cool. Nah. I'm on the fence. You know what? Let's do inactive and active. No, that's cool. just change. That's true. That's true. I'm going to make this config, and then I'm going to put it up on GitHub. So if anybody wants my config after we're done with it, messing around. But I'm kind of digging this. This is like a Lilicree that doesn't suck. Or maybe it's just like a Lilicree. It's just, I like to be different. So I don't think it sucks. Although I did have problems with the Lilicree, I swear. It's not like I just hated on it for no reason. Tab title template. I don't really like the title at all. I probably will remove this border altogether. This is a long config file. We're only like halfway through it. Holy crap. Oh, background opacity. Yes, please. Let's go with like a point. Feeling 80. Let's do 0.80. Opacity in the background. Ooh. All right. Might change that a little bit. Lilicree does not suck. You just can't work with a config file. Yeah, I know, Peter. Well, Kitty's much like it, so let's see how I do here. How much tint the background image should be by the background color. Dim opacity. You know what? Let's dim that down. Let's go 70 instead of 75, though. Alrighty. That should be pretty good. We need to set our font. I don't think anything here. Allow hyperlinks, yes. I need my hyperlinks. Oh, now we get into like Mac OS. Oh, here we go. Linux. Oh, clipboard. All right, yeah, we need that. Mod C. Yes. Oh, that's weird. Pass selection to program. Kitty mod. Oh, so Kitty mod. What is Kitty mod? I think that's Control Shift. Okay. Control Shift. Control Shift C. Copy from clipboard. Control Shift B. Paste. Control mod. Control Shift S would be selection. Ooh, that's weird. Paste from selection. Yeah, middle mouse click usually does it, but let's see. Scroll up, scroll down. That's fine. Window management. I don't know, what's MUT? I don't think I've used MUT before. You always learn something new. These look like just bindings towards the end. All right, cool. Well, we might come back to that. So now, if we just come into here, run Kitty. Yeah, it's starting to look a little bit nicer. I was watching some Windows debloat videos of yours, and I like them a lot. I was wondering if you ever heard of Revi OS. I have not used Revi OS. MDMA. Great name, by the way. Do you think you will update your Windows debloater script? Yeah, Paul, I actually did an update, I think a couple weeks ago. I do need to look at some of the commits that the community has made. I know a lot of people are committing some stuff to it, so I need to just browse through it. Some of it I have to discard, some of it I can't use, but some of it I have actually committed to the project. So it's constantly a moving target with the debloater script. I do need to look at, I think, 21H2 that came out and see how it does with the debloater script. I just hadn't had time to mess with the latest feature update yet. Will you teach us how to go back to Windows? Yes, you just install it and you'll be good. I thought about something snarky there, but I was like, nah. Just dual boot. I always recommend dual booting, mainly for gaming. If you're a gamer. If you're not a gamer, just what are you doing on Windows? Microsoft isn't evil. They just make crappy operating systems. That is the greatest quote ever, Harsh. I love it. Do you remember what you said in the future video? Back to distro hopping? Yeah, I mean, whatever, man. It is. Everybody's your opinion is allowed to change. But I mean, I think you just what I'm saying is with a lot of the distro hopping comments in the past, I saw people distro hopping from like a KDE Neon to like a Pop OS or Ubuntu to a Pop OS, those types of things. And it's just like more of the same. So if you're going to distro hop, I highly encourage you to go from like a Debian to an Arch-based distro, or a Debian or an Arch to a Rel-based distro. You know, those types of things where you learn new syntax, you learn different ways that they maintain packages or change the kernel around for security and privacy. There's certain things where I've softened my stance on distro hopping a bit, where it's fine, but just try to be learning something. And then also, I'd say to everybody, always be thinking, what don't I like and what do I like? And then institute the things you do like. Those are the big things. Just remember, customize every distro. There's no distro out there I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I install the distro and then immediately start ripping things out and replacing them and customizing it exactly how I want it to be. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it all. I also use ZSH on OMI ZSH and TMUX. Oh, old TMUX, man. Hey, nothing wrong with TMUX. If you're not using a tiling window manager, TMUX is a great drop-in replacement. There's a lot of great TMUX configuration scripts out there as well. Yeah, I mainly got away from KDE Neon because of PKCon and some other Ubuntu stuff I don't particularly like. That's why I moved from that to Debian. There's a bit of a difference between the two. Yes, they both have apt, but there's a good bit of difference between a KDE Neon and a vanilla Debian. Pick distro by cool name and cute logo. RW, I think that's a good start. Are you still an Arch Linux fan? Arch is cool. It has its time and place. LFS challenge. Nah, probably not. I've lost the... That just doesn't sound like fun to me. At the end of the day, these days, I'm just like, what would be fun? That's my jam. What is your excuse for moving away Arch to Ubuntu? Oh, no, I'm not on Ubuntu, man. Debian. Vanilla Debian. Do you know a good way to automate bulk install programs with Chocolatey? Yeah, there's a couple things, Cooler. I would probably just do Cocoa. One, there's a global command you're going to want to push through first, so there's no verification of packages. You can do with Chocolatey, and then you can just do Cocoa install, and then just like GIMP space, VS Code space, and then you just list all the things out. Or you could do like a for loop if you don't want to go that route, and then just do Cocoa install the program, and then just create like an array of different programs, and then just feed it that for loop through that array, and then it'll just install all those packages. So there's a bunch of different ways to skin that cat. KDE Neon is an Ubuntu, but this isn't KDE Neon. Yeah, I had never tried KDE Neon, Peter, so that's what that Tuesday stream was about. It's like, let's install KDE Neon, and then as I realized all the packages were maintained, it needed to be upgraded with like PKCon. I was like, I'm out. I'm so out on this. I was immediately like, I regret this decision. So that's why I like pulled the ripcord on KDE Neon. Yeah. What is crypto at today, by the way? Has anybody looked at the numbers? I saw the massive drop yesterday, and then I didn't really do anything. I kind of was like expecting it, and I already prepped for all that. So it wasn't a kind of more of the same. I hopefully will go into like a bear market soon, and the cycle will be over, and then people will stop hyping up all the crap, and it'll go back to being like a little side hobby of mine. All the bandwagon people and people talking about price will go away. Be nice. Be very nice. Yeah. I mean, let's see. I'll pull it up. What is it at? I bet we got a dead cat bounce, though. Usually after a 50% drop, you get like a dead cat bounce, and then within a week, you should see whether or not it's going to be bull market or bear. And bull market means it would go back to the hype and all the crappy stuff about it. Let's just go trading view. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll just do Bitcoin USD. That's not shorts. Well, that shorts graph was nuts though. Yeah, let's just do Coinbase. What are we at? Yeah, about what I thought. You got your crash, and then you got your little dead cat bounce right here. After a massive crash, you always see a little uptick, and then usually what happens, and this is just markets in general, it doesn't matter about Bitcoin or any of it, but when you start to see this pattern, you'll get this, you get like a little dead cat bounce, and it'll be like in a range like that. So it'll bounce up to here, and then it'll just continually have this down pattern, but we'll see if that actually happens. But it looks like it. I mean, if you scroll out, it looks like a good correction. You have just a ton of volume right here. Look at that sell pressure, a little bit of buy pressure. But yeah, I think it's going to go into a bear market. But we'll see. Shake out all the speculation, all the BS. Maybe we'll get some good GPUs. That'd be cool. But yeah, all the morons today are probably like, buy the dip. Buy the dip. You know. Yeah. There's an expression that I want to tell everybody about. And anytime you get a huge market, any market, we're not talking about just crypto here, just general knowledge about markets in general. There's something called don't catch a falling knife. Investopedia. What is the falling knife? And you can just go through this. But basically, everyone has like the IQ of idiocracy in the crypto space. And if you've never seen the movie Idiocracy from Mike Judge, highly recommend it. It's a great documentary. And basically, you got all these people with no IQ, not understanding anything about markets, just like all of them like YOLOing everything into like just crap. Just all based off media hype. But markets themselves and how they work, when you don't have any real world adoption, like blockchain could really change things in the future. That's why I talk about it. But I'm trying to not talk about the financials, but it's really hard when the whole markets are based off just speculation and very little of actually real world adoption. What is real world adoption though? I mean, and really what that looks like is decentralized banking, decentralized finance. There's a lot of these things that the idea's there, some of the foundations laid, but it's just there's still so many things wrong with it that they haven't fixed yet. Fee structures, there's all these things that we need to improve on. And in the meantime, people are just going to get wrecked. And here in a couple of years, I think we're really going to see the emergence of something really awesome. But there's no crypto project like, oh, this is amazing. All of it is so speculative, and all of it is, there's a lot of cool things that are happening that might become big, but I don't know. But yeah, anyways, yeah, dead cat bounce today, kind of to be expected. Moving on, back to our Debian install. All right. Ba, 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 ba. Well, I mean, yeah, inflation's definitely here, Tony, but there's certain things the government does. Where we're really going to see a lot of inflation is in asset classes like housing is a major concern, and you got other things that are definitely going to be affected by the printing of money. Bread and some modern necessities here in America, you're going to see a rise, probably a 10-20% rise in that over the course of the next couple years. But I don't think you're going to see hyperinflation, nothing like Venezuela or Yugoslavia back in the day. You got some hyperinflation going on. Nothing to that extent. People kind of blow that out of proportion. But you will see different asset classes really see a massive inflation. Stock market, housing, probably gold of some sort. You got a lot of different things that happen with those asset classes that it's something very interesting. But just remember, most of it's hyper sensationalized, and a lot of people paint crypto as this silver bullet today when it's not. There's no good cryptocurrency that I'm like, oh, this solves so many problems. Most of it today is still in those early stages of adoption. You're still kind of figuring it out, and there's no project out there that's just perfect. And who knows what the project winner will be? That's what everyone's speculating on, is what chain will a lot of people use, or what chains. I honestly think it'll be probably 4 or 5 projects that end up becoming big, but who knows what those are just yet, because none of them are really flushed out. Can you use gaming tips on Debian? Yeah, let's get into gaming, Joseph. I meant to talk about that. I did want to grab some stuff from my old install, though, and set that up. Let's go here. So first off, there's a really good gaming tip. What I'd recommend on a fresh Debian install, Lutris Wiki. Lutris Wiki has probably one of the best setups out of everything, where it just kind of shows you everything. So here's these. I would start with DXVK. I would just start with that. Oops. And come into here. Let's see what we got. And usually they have already... Oh, look at that. No. Wine dependencies. So I'll start with wine dependencies. First thing, adding the architecture, 32-bit architecture. So we'll just add that. That's done. Adding the wine keys, add those. And then let's go Debian. Is there Debian, or is it all Ubuntu in here? Nothing too wild. There's not really... I'm tempted. So I'm on SID, and none of these really fit as a repository. Let's see. Do they not have Debian instructions? They do not have Debian instructions. So let's go with 2004. 20.10 is just a little too bleeding edge, and 2004 is the LTS release. So we can throw that in there. Let's update, and then we'll grab staging here. So let's do sudo apt update. Let's see what happens. Whenever you do your update, also look for warnings and errors as well. Yeah, so let's get wine really quick. And most of these are going to be 32-bit libraries, because when it comes to gaming, most games still are 32-bit. And it's also kind of why a lot of old games, like if you're an old gamer, Linux is actually a really good option, because I find a lot of the older games work better on Linux than Windows. Where it really diverges and Windows becomes better in gaming is when you get into easy anti-cheat, modern games like 200 gigs in size, like Call of Duty series and that type of stuff. That's when you really start to go, okay, modern gamers are still kind of pigeonholed into... Or modern competitive online gamers are still pigeonholed into Windows. Where most of other games were, you know... these days, I don't really care. I'm just like, okay. Some things I still use Windows for, though, and it's mostly that. Oh, Hikari. All right, Hikari says, grab the Debian repo. Oops. Debian repo wine. Did I grab the wrong repo? Oh, I did, didn't I? My bad. Let's grab Bullseye. I'm on SID, so it's not really, don't think it really matters that much, but you are absolutely right. Let's go custom shortcuts. Shortcuts. Add a shortcut. Kitty. I still need to change my font in Kitty, though. So we need to make sure that happens. All right. So let's go into APT real fast and clean that up. Because having a whole bunch of bad repos is bad. We don't want that. CD, etc, apt. Oops. And we'll do a vim sources.list. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Let's just take that. I'm going to remove those two things. I don't like to add things directly to my sources.list file. I actually like to go to comp.d, and then we're just going to go with vim, and we'll put wine.list, I think it is. And we'll just put that in there. Save that out. Ah, crap, I'm not running as root. All right, now we save that out. Now let's do a cd apt update. And as it does not have a... Oh, did I mess up the file name extension? I think I did, didn't I? No, that should work, right? Wine.list. But you have to capitalize the environmental variable. Really? Did I miss something? Oops, sudo vim line.list. What did I miss here? Ah, I see it. I think it should be that, right? Or no? No, that's right. What did I mess up? Oh, yes, you're right, you're right. Ah, thank you, sir. Sat. You are the MVP of today. Move wine.list ... sources.list.d. Ah. Okay, make directory. My bad. Ah, that it wasn't actually there. etc apt sources.list.d. And then I should be able to do that. Let's do a sudo. Yeah. You're absolutely right. And then if you look at sourceslist.d, now we should have everything there. See, Brave's already there. You got wine. And I like to kind of keep it all insulated into this one directory. That, honestly, is better than... A lot of people make the mistake of dumping it all in their sources.list file. And then something happens, and then you can't update your system. And it's just best to leave all that official. And now we should have everything good. All right, cool. We're gravy. Yep. Oh, okay. Recommend trying this font for seal. Yeah, I usually use nerd fonts for that, Sparky. Whenever I'm doing this, I usually use power level 10K. It's a ZSH theme. This one right here, it does use the nerd font. I think it's Maglio nerd font. It ends up using. It's really, really good. That's why I'm like, I need to change the kitty. If I do kitty, Maglio, Maglio nerd font. Oh, that's just not giving me what I need. Well, anyways. So, let's first grab all these files. I have a directory full of fonts where I need to do that. So let's do make directory.fonts. Now we're in the fonts directory. And now I need to link all my hard drive stuff too, which is fine. Loki, thanks for the super chat. Donation for Chris to help him to seek help for his wine dependency. That's good. Oh yeah. Getting back to here. So we grabbed wine staging. I think we did, didn't we? Let me just run that real fast just to make sure. Yeah. It's installed. And then once we have our wine dependencies, usually I go through. We do need to grab our GPU drivers as well. Let's go installing drivers, actually. All right, we can't use PPAs because that's Ubuntu. We need to be using Debian. Man, I think the Lutras devs have something against Debian. Install NVIDIA drivers, Debian. NVIDIA's proprietary driver. Installation. Debian SID. Okay, it should already be there. So then we should just do that. And let's see what we get. Help if we did it as sudo. Okay, yeah, it's already in the... That's so cool. They just added it to the repository as long as you got non-free in there. Let's grab our NVIDIA drivers while we're here. Your system is broken for gaming if you don't solve that environmental program for the Vulkan driver. Do we have an environmental problem? Oh, use Kitty list fonts and enable remote control setting on Kitty so you can use Kitty at. Okay. Yeah, I want to get my Maglio fonts installed as well in ZSH so we get that all kind of out as well. Yeah. You can share fonts. Video driver. That's so cool. It's all baked in. I don't need to add a repo or anything for the NVIDIA driver. Okay. It says reboot the machine afterwards. Is workspaces good? Yeah. I love workspaces. Ooh, speaking of workspaces, while this is installing, we need to do some workspaces of our own. All right, we need to add... I like to have about 4 desktops. Desktop 2. And desktop 3. And desktop 4. Let's go ahead and apply that. Apply that bad boy. Now we can have our little desktops. All right, got that going. All right, cool. So that's good. Lutra's not really the greatest on this so far. All right, so we got our drivers. Oh, eSync. We need to check eSync. I don't know if Debian ever changed eSync out. Let's see what this U limit is. As long as it's not 4096, we should be good. Yeah, no, that's good. It's 1 million by default now. This used to be defaulted to about 4,000, which wasn't good. Esync is fine. Got Esync, DXVK, installing drivers, Lutris runtime. And let's just install Lutris. I want to say, all right, this is this one. Now for Debian, we should be able to just take this, drops it all into that sources file. Although this is a Debian 10, which not really what we're using, but whatever. I'm sure it's fine. All right. Sudo apt update. And then sudo apt install Lutris. Yes. All right, cool. RW, thanks for the super chat. Weekend project. Fatten Hive OS and Sound Steam Proton. Nice, man. Yeah, I wonder how many packages, once I get everything installed here, how many packages you think I'm going to be at? Oh, why we're doing this, though. I think after, we'll probably do a reboot here soon, just so we flip over to the NVIDIA drivers. But I do want to remove Firefox. So we'll do a apt list installed grep Firefox and start purging that out as well. Hey, gaming. I'm doing well. How about yourself? Yeah, I probably should reboot now, but I kind of like to live on the edge. So let's just keep rocking until I feel like doing a reboot. Let's see if we can keep it under 3,000 packages. We're going wild. All right, let's see. NeoFetch right now. Now we're not keeping it under 3,000 packages. I'm making the most bloated install known to man. All right. Grep Firefox. Oh, wow. All right. Sudo apt remove. All right, let's just do a purge. Firefox ESR. All right, we're going to remove all our Firefox. And then let's do a rep of Firefox. Okay, Firefox is removed. What are we at now? It's still 3,300. Yeah, that didn't really do too much, did it? Sudo apt purge discover. Discover is not installed, is it not? It's probably just named like Plasma Discover or some crap. Yeah. Purge. Plasma Discover. This guy right here. And we'll remove that. Yes. Perfect. What's your favorite desktop environment? I think you're the third person to ask. KDE, man. KDE's my jam. I'm going back home. This is the return to home screen. Back in 2019, first live stream I did was a Debian install with KDE, I think it was. I think it took like 7 hours or something ridiculous, though. This stream's going considerably better, as I think we're on hour 2, so not too bad. Oh, DCLN says Lutris is actually in the default repos nowadays. Really? Oh, here, let's go. My occupation has been a system admin or an IT manager. I've had a couple different titles. I was a lead engineer for a satellite company where I would do telephony boxes and other things for some government entities like ATF, FEMA, and some other ones. We're just like remote satellite things. So, like, say there's a natural disaster or some big event, and all the satellite towers would go down. I made some of the boxes that's used in these rolling mobile kits that would go out, and they'd just pop up a remote site anywhere and have full-blown phones, internet, all that good jazz. So I helped facilitate that for many different, even big companies. I think we did a trailer for like Facebook and some other ones. And that was fun. So that was kind of a different thing. So that was like the engineer side of things, but I've also done a lot of IT management. It's kind of been my bread and butter, where I've done IT director position for a little bit there, and I just didn't like managing people very much. It's kind of why I'm still kind of solo in the whole YouTube thing, just because I don't want to hire anybody. It sucks. It sucks hiring people. And you know, even people are like, build a team and all this. I'm like, I kind of just like doing this for fun. And you know, I still interface with sponsorships and those types of things, and kind of handling that. But it has to be like a really good company that I love to do it. So I'm really, really picky in that regard. And I still have my day job, which is right now just IT management for a small like law firm. So nothing too big. So I got kind of a eclectic resume, so to speak. All right, so we did that. I am curious about removing that Lutris file. Sources. Let's go apt sources.list.d ls. Let's remove Lutris, or here, let's just rename. Let's move Lutris to lutris.old. And let's do it as sudo. And then sudo apt update. Ignoring file suture. Okay, cool. And then let's just do a sudo install Lutris. And Lutris is already on the newest version. You know, I think you're right. I think we don't need Lutris in there anymore. So I guess Lutris needs to... Well, not very many people rock SID, though. So I guess that's why they haven't done that. So let's do Lutris remove and move on from here. But yeah, that's kind of cool. I like your style, though. Keeping that sources.list to a minimal level, and obviously don't add a repo if you don't need to. I like it. I still have it, Brandon. It's just on the other hard drive. I still love Rocky for its stability. I know the cool thing about Rocky is once you set it up, I can come back to it in a year. I can just let it sit there dormant for an entire year, boot it up, go right to the desktop, and yeah, no problem. So that's the beauty of like a Rocky install. You're awesome. I love your videos. I owe you at least $1,000. No, man. I think just I get the most joy from just people picking up skills, learning something new from whether it's a live stream or a video. That's just so powerful. I think folks just learning new things, and just push. You know, take that goodwill and teach someone else. I think that's the best thing you could do. Pay it forward, so to speak. Isn't that the beauty of every Linux distro in general? No, Blackworm, Arch will break like nobody's business if you leave it alone for a year. You know, throw Arch on a hard drive, and then pop that sucker out, and then pop it in a year later. It will be so broken, you're going to be like, I can't do nothing. So, hey, Donald. Rocky's still there. We were just talking about that, Donald. But yeah, Rocky's still there. We'll boot. We'll shoot back to it just so show people. We're just setting up a vanilla Debian now. I don't know. I just got the itch to Distrohop this week. All right, let's grab some of this stuff real fast. I need to fill out my fonts directory and redo my fstab, which I think... Can't remember. I think it's this drive. And let's grab fstab. And what I'm going to do here, I map all my drives in fstab. So let's grab all of this business right here. We'll copy that guy, and then we'll put this in our fstab. Yeah, if you update Arch weekly, you're good, man. Hell, even every month. Every 2 months, you probably could get away with it on Arch. But a year? Nah, that ain't happening. You ain't getting away from not updating Arch for a year. You're gonna run into some problems. All right. Let's throw that guy in here and save that out. Close. And then I also want a CD. Oh, nope. Nope, nope. Root. Where you at, root? Root. All right. Sudo su. And then we're going to go cd root. Copy server credentials to the root of this drive. And then let's exit, clear, and cd, come back into our root. And then what we're going to do is just a mount A. Oh, okay. Which is fine. So let's do a make directory -p media. Actually, let's just go cd media. All right. Make directory data main pool images drive plots. And we need to do that as sudo. And then we need to do a sudo ch own Titus : and then we do the same thing. Data main pool. This is just fixing all the permissions for these folders. And these are all my mapped network drives. And then sudo mount A. And I need to install NFS and CFS. So, little problem there. Let's just sudo apt install. I think it's sys utils. And I can't remember what NFS is. So we'll have to do that. What does Rocky do special? They use really old things and they don't really update very often, Brandon. And there's no like major dependency problems when you're doing updates after leaving alone. I hate to admit this out loud, but I'm going to. I've run a CentOS, which Rocky's based on CentOS, like old CentOS, not the crappy new version of whatever Red Hat's doing with it. But old version of CentOS. I've run old version of CentOS for 5 years and then done an update. And it worked just fine. 5 years. I mean, that's half a decade, and it just updated just fine. So that's what Rocky's based on. That's why I'm like, hey, if you just want something to work forever and not have to worry about that type of stuff, Rocky Linux is great. That's why so many people use it in servers, because you don't, let's just say it gives a little bit more wiggle room. And it's also a lot more secure because it's based on the RHEL kernels with security in mind. So that's the benefits of it. For a desktop, though, it's not the best because you do have dependency resolutions and there's not a whole bunch of repositories and crap that you can grab from. And it is running a lot older kernel, so there's some downsides that you trade off for that capability. No, I didn't leave Rocky. I just got another hard drive here, guys. It's fine. You can have more than one Linux distribution installed. It's not the end of the world. All right. Sudo apt list. And let's grep NFS. What's the NFS package? Probably sudo apt install. What is the NFS package? NFS common. That'll get me there. Yeah, that should get me there. All right. So now we have that. Let's just do a mount all. All right, cool. So the reason why I did that is now I have all my main drives. So I should be able to do that. Let's switch to chat real fast, guys. And what we're going to do is I'm going to hide my screen over here. And then I'm just going to plug in some of my credentials and stuff. Make that disappear. That I can't actually show on stream because I don't want to get hacked, which probably will end up happening anyways, but yeah, no. Try to do my best to at least avoid it somewhat. And we're going to go settings and install this sync key. I'll be on the desktop just a second. All right, that's done. And then I need to grab a couple other keys. I'm going to install this key to get Synergy going so I'm not having to use multiple laptops. Nobody likes that. Or multiple keyboards, I should say. Synergy not in the... Synergy's not in the repos, darn it. Oh, well. Can you make some videos for us ARM users? Yeah. Yeah, no, I did a video a while back about Titus Pi, which is an ARM-based thing using RetroPie. I do have this right here, which I showed earlier in the stream. This is an ARM-based thing. I'm going to be using libelect to do Amazon Fire replacement, and also, have like my own thing. As far as holding like keypad, I'm going to use something like this that has like the mouse and keyboard that I should be able to do, but you can flip it around and do a full-blown keyboard if you need. These are like $10, $40, $10, and this is like $4, which is just like the housing for the Jettison. So I'm gonna do all that, and then the reason why I went with this instead of Raspberry Pi is because the video on the Pis are complete garbage. So they're not great for video replacement, or maybe I want to stream my video games into the other room from a system in here. Streaming those would be a little too taxing for the Pi. So that's why I switched the Jetson instead of a Pi. But good question. If you switch to Bullseye, know that Bullseye had chained the security repos, so you can't just place Buster with Bullseye. Well, we just jumped right over Buster and we went with Sid. So that's it. How much is the stream delay? I did super low latency, so I can only do 1080p, I think, on the stream, but not bad. I'm just really a slow reader. Take it easy, Sparky. Have a good one, man. What is a single board computer name? Oh, it's what is it? The Jetson Nano 2GB developer kit. I think I got it off Amazon for, I want to say $60. So not bad. The only thing I didn't show here that you'll need is an SD card, a micro SD card that goes in, just like the Pi. It's just like a Pi with based on more video than processing. So that's really the only difference. All right, I think I got all that done. I'm pretty sure I'm hiding most of my passwords and stuff now. And I think we can go back to the desktop. All right, let's go over to Drive. And I want to say in video production, I have a GIMP directory. So this is all my GIMP stuff. And usually what I do is I just take all of these, which I should organize these a little bit better. And then I just usually go into like a home.fonts. And then I just paste. And then I just can install all these. And I should have like all these fonts. And you could always right click and open with Kfont view and hit install. That's just kind of a pain in the butt. So the easiest thing to do is just do, I think it's FC cache. Yeah, cache. And then force verbose. And this should redo the cache directory. So it's all good. And now I can set the fonts wherever I want. And to test this out, we could just do sudo apt install GIMP. Let's grab GIMP. It's already installed, actually. We do launch GIMP. We can just take a peek at this. And we can see if those are installed or not. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but it's kind of how I do it. So like, I know like built tiling is something I threw in. Yeah, built tiling's there. And then I have some other Meslios fonts was what I really wanted, which I want to change the font of our terminal install ZSH. apt install ZSH. Yes. And then also changing the font of this terminal as well. And we'll quit that out as well. We'll do Sparky. Yeah, I'm gonna see about getting this all set up, and I'll do a Git as well. I think I have Git already in here. Let's just make sure we have Git. Yeah, Git's here. And what I can do is Git clone, and I have all this public. So if you guys want to see what my ZSH is, you can actually go to Chris Titus Tech and just do ZSH. So usually I do this, and then I do a link to ZSH. .zsh rc, and then I just put that in this directory. So then if you do a all, you can see I have my RC file, and you can see we got all that. In my RC file, I have just kind of a couple initial setups here. Probably should script this in at some point, but let's just take this and oh, nope. All right, Control C. Nope, it didn't like that. What the hell? Kitty. What's going on? So, I highlight this. I guess I could just do yank since it's no, I don't think. If I do a yank, I don't think that'll actually transpire over to here. No, I didn't think so. Well, crap. So with Kitty, if I do a Control-Shift-C, I should get it. Yeah, I'm doing Control-Shift-C and Control-Shift-V. No, it's not putting it in the clipboard. So Kitty, if Control-Shift-2, see, if I look in here, we should have it. Yeah, Control-Shift-C is what I got here, guys. And I'm pretty sure I mapped that right here. Kitty mod plus C, which Kitty mod is right here, Control Shift. So Control Shift C should copy this to the clip. Oh. Is there something else I missed? So maybe it's just Vim overwriting that of some sort. Maybe a Vim issue. It's weird. Why doesn't that work? Control-Shift-C should bring me there. Nope. Huh. I think... Oh, you know what? I never did anything with my Vim. Ah, git clone. Let's just do that. My Vim. And let's just copy, or actually, let's just do another link to... And we'll just link that to vimrc here. Now, let's do Vim. Oh, that's right. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, I think I have it in my vimrc though. Do I have any setup functions? Usually I comment out something I need to do when I set up something, but did not see it. Oh well. Let's grab plug Vim plug June gun. I think I need this, and then it should set everything up for me. Vim. Does that get me? All right, close. Cannot find color scheme of one dark. Can't remember what I did with one dark. One dark Vim. Was it Plugman? I think I needed to type like Plugman or something. I can't remember. It's been a minute since I set this up. Yeah, that should work. Can I just do Plugman? Ah. Plugman. Wow. Is it just plug, maybe? Stop messing around with copy paste. Just type it out. That's true. That's one way to solve it. Gosh, there's something I'm missing here. Anyways, I needed to add this anyways. That's why I'm kind of spending time on it. Is something I wanted to do, but plug install. I think that should grab all the stuff I need. Vim. Yeah. All right, yeah. All right, cool. Vim's done. So now I should be able to go into power line. The long way of doing this, but that's all right. What was it? ZSH? Yeah. Oh, I need to grab auto jump and auto suggestions as well. All right. Control Shift C. Yes. Note to self, I need to put a quote on the end of that one. My bad. Alrighty, and then let's do a git clone. Alright, that's good. And then I don't think I need to echo the source actually. I think it's already built into here. So we should be good. Quit that out. Now we have our Vim. ZSH should be all done. So now we should just be able to do change shell Titus. And the password. Bin ZSH. And then sudo apt install. I think it's CSH auto suggestions. Is that what I was missing? Yeah, auto suggestions. Gotta have auto suggestions. That's just fun. So now if we quit. And oh, before we do this, I need to install a font onto Kitty as well. Can you make a Discord channel for your fans? I actually had a Discord channel a couple years ago, but it just got so wild and I didn't visit it enough, and it turned into a huge mess. So I actually had to shut that down, and that's what happened with the Discord channel. I want something though to where people could do stuff. It's just having to, yeah, having to go through it all is having time to do it is another thing. So I need to set something up. It's on my agenda to do something. Some people do forums, some people do Discord. I almost am thinking about doing Slack, but then I'm like, nah, that's stupid. So I'm still figuring something out where it's manageable, but doesn't require a lot of time. All right, install Kitty font. Let's do that. Install Kitty font. Fonts. All right, font family. So let's just do the fonts on this Kitty. Control Shift F2. And fonts are right here. So we just take this. And font family. I wonder how I can look up font family real fast. Probably. How do you list fonts? I'm sure it's like FC Cache or something like that. FC list. All right, FC list will get me there. So FC cache is for direct reload. FC list tell us what fonts we got. So FC list, and if we grabbed Meslo. So what is fonts? Okay, FC list maybe. Oh, okay. Well, Nodo. Oh, geez. All right. Pre-type. Not what I wanted. That's... Ah, there we go. So what is the style of this? Meslo in F. This is what I want. Ah. Still getting used to this. So I should be able to go delete. And then just toss that right there. I feel like that should have quotes, though. Right? That feels right. Yeah. Debian install was worked great for wireless so far. As long as you do non-free with firmware. So if you're using wireless, you need firmware blobs that aren't open source, and then you also need non-free. Why not install the GUI install Debian provide? No reason their part. You totally can. You can do that. I as I said in the start of the stream, like Linux desktop is kind of like a afterthought in my mind. I'm more of a server-based guy and have been for like 10 years, so I'm much more comfortable in like a TTY environment than I am something like a GUI. And that's just because that's what I've worked in for years and years. And it just makes more sense and it's a little more straightforward than the GUI where I'm just like, why is this over here? Just my brain's broken basically, and yours probably isn't. So probably use the GUI. So that's why. Oh, what's up? Kitty list fonts. IT dash IT, it tells you exactly what you need. Yeah, I think I got it there, Sparky. I think. Let's see. Yes. Rainbow. Unicode. No format. Round. One line. Compact. Many icons. Concise. And transition prompt. I kind of like the differential, so I'm going to say no to that. And we'll just go 1 for recommended. And we are now back. We are back to ZSH. So we got that. We got all our Kitty fonts, all that good jazz. So now, Kitty should be pretty much fully configured. Holy crap, what happened there? Oh, okay. That's not the Debian font. I mean, it still looks nice, though. It's like a line, though. It's like an arrow to my home. Huh. Alright, whatever. It looks cool. Just not the Debian symbol. That's bothering me for some odd reason. What the hell, man? Ah! The terminal fonts? No, that's Leo. Oh, you know what we should do next? While we're on the subject of fonts, this would be a fun one. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. You guys ever used Terminus for TTY? Oh, this is a game changer. When I was speaking of... Oh, install Terminus Debian. Yeah. Addictive tips, man. This guy's still doing it, I think, too. So, no, I don't think you need to do any of this. This doesn't look right. No, this isn't right. Okay, no. Those are bad instructions. Now, let's see Pantheon.io. Let's see if they do it. Terminus. Ah, that's curling and downloading a bunch of crap. Oh, man. Change TTY font. And I want to say we can just, there's a built-in one that's pretty cool. All right, here you go. Sudo console setup. Check this out. All right, let's go to TTY, right? Let's sign in. And, oh, sudo dpackage reconfigure console setup. All right, check this out. This is cool. Now, oops, what was it? Forget where I was. Latin? Nope, nope. Latin 1? Latin, yeah, let's, interesting. I forget this. Guess it. All right, you go terminus. And then let's bring it up to 16.32. Yeah, old man terminal. Now, obviously, since I'm in ZSH, that's it. But if you go to bash, yeah, you got like a clear readable TTY now. Neo fetch that bad boy. That's legit. So if you ever tired of let's say you get like a real high def monitor, like 4K, yeah, gotta know to do this. Otherwise, you're gonna be like squinting to see how the hell you're gonna do anything in TTY. So, fun little tip for folks out there doing TTY with Terminus. Oops, nope, that wasn't it. Let's get back to here. All right, there we go. Latin 1. So that's a fun one. Big reason I said KDE lists fonts is because KDE uses normalized names that it recognizes. Oh, okay. Let's take a peek at that. KDE, maybe I messed something up too. List fonts. Ah, did I mess it up? Meslio is what I like. Oh, see, look at that. I think I did mess that up. Well, no, I did the main one, which should be fine. Meslio LGSNF. Because if you look on the... I do have the quotes. Do you think I need the quotes? Probably not. What happens if I kill the quotes? Let's break it. I feel like that would work. So if we break it... Ah! There's the Debian symbol. Beautiful. Yeah, I didn't need the quotes. But that's cool. KDE lists fonts. That's what we need to know. Sparky, always so informative. I've learned probably more from him than he's learned from me. Make a video on crockpot. Oh, sorry. I was like, wow, I'm not much of a cooker, man. I mean, I guess I could get into cooking, but I'm not. Yeah, my wife would laugh at that video. She probably loved the fact I did it, though. Crockpit. Or cockpit. Oh, cockpit. Oh, my word. Wow. What is cockpit? Web-based graphic interface for servers. That just sounds bad. Huh. Interesting. Kind of reminds me of Webmin. Is Webmin still a thing? I mean, it's been so while since I've done most of this crap. Webmin's what I was using a lot for that, too. I think I even did a video on Webmin. Although it's kind of old these days. Just fun. If you ever want to check out Webmin, you can administer many servers just from that. It uses port 10,000, though. Not exactly the securest thing in the world. Yeah, I finally got rid of the Amazon Smile logo. Thank you. Do you use Matrix? If you do you host yourself? I do not use it. Thank you, though. Yeah, Webmin's pretty good. Cockpit looks pretty cool, too. There's also like a Guacamole too, if you want to do remote desktop through like web pages. And some of them like bake guacamole into it. Kind of hungry for chips now though. Yeah, no, one of them things. Do you have any Minecraft servers? Yeah, you can jump on it right now. Minecraft.christitus.com. That's actually the thing you host at it too, unless it crashed. Did I? Oh, it might have crashed. Rutro Scoob. Well, I probably need to look into why that server's down. So be it. Do need to sync everything with this guy though. It's like, where's my bookmarks? Oh yeah. We were originally actually, before I got completely sidetracked and started doing ZSH and terminal customization, we were doing gaming installing. All right, let's do Steam. Yeah, I agree. Let's install some Steam. We've done Lutris. We've done Steam. Actually, there really wasn't much there for Steam, right? Steam. Man, this is just working so clean compared to the last time I did Debian. I still have a sweet spot in my heart for Debian. What do you think about Pop! OS versus Debian? Two different things, really. I mean, Pop! OS is basically the Debian with Ubuntu and GNOME and a bunch of other crap. So it's like, I view Pop! OS as like the Fisher-Price easy done distro. Debian, you kind of have to build out exactly what you want. It's not quite as easy, but it's not nearly as hard as it used to be either. So it's getting, all of it's getting so simple. Ish. Get sidetracked. No, say it isn't so. Yeah, anybody that's watched me in a live stream kind of knows I'm all over the place. That's why I can never do any timestamps on my live streams, because I'm like, oh crap. I jumped over to Vim here and then did ZSH, then back to Vim, and then I started fonts for the terminal, which I set up an hour ago. I mean, it's kind of bonkers. So let's log into that, and I don't want to show you all my passwords, so let's do this. One of these days I'm gonna forget to like do that, and then everyone's gonna see my Steam user ID, which I guess wouldn't be the end of the world. I do have two-factor, so there is that. Thank you. Cockpit is a Red Hat project that works great on desktop and uses barely any resources. Nice, man. All right. Chat on friends. Nope. Off. Notifications. Off. Receive direct messages. Off. And group announcements. Off. Never. I am so antisocial. I apologize to everybody out there. But, oh well. I think I commented on a video the other day. I was like, I don't think very many people realize that. I think most people on YouTube are like super introverts. We're socially awkward. Just saying, that's typically the truth. All right. I think we're good. Bam. Back to it. So now let's install some games, right? Let's restore some games. I think I have a couple of these guys in... Oh, before we do this, though. 1 second. Got to change some more things. I would show you my settings, but sadly it flashes my email address that I'd prefer not get out. It's not my business email. It's like my personal. All right, Steam Play on, yes. And restart. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I guess Minecraft server crashed. I'll have to look at that. Usually it's minecraft.christitus.com, but something happened there. Oh, you know what? Games. 1 second. Gotta install one more thing here, guys. I needed to put in a library, Steam library. I think I still have a bunch of games in here, though. Alright. So by default, it does like .debian, but I'm pretty sure if I go on data drive, games, I don't have it there. Wait, what about Steam apps? Oh, that looks promising. Okay, cool. That works. And make as default. Yes. Sweet. Done. All right, what game should we play? Got Getting Over It. I actually already have that. Let's do a backup and restore some games too. Pretty sure I have some other ones. We just somehow I misplaced or never installed them. I want to say it was in main pool archive, maybe. Nothing. Game backups. Backups? Nope. Games? Ah, darn it, man. There's just nothing in here. I swear I had... Oh, Steam game backups. Here we go. So we got Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Oh, Steam Linux games. Let's select that. Is there anything there? All right, we got Borderlands 2, Baldur's Gate 2, Getting Over It, don't need. Oh, Hollow Knight. So good. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's see how long that takes. I'm going to check up with chat here while that does its thing. Oh, that's actually... It's taken only... That's only going to take about a minute. That's actually pretty quick. Yeah, I played Warframe. Hikari in the channel, he plays crap tons of Warframe. I still play Minecraft mainly with my daughter, though. Usually on, like, the weekends, we'll jump on and play some Minecraft, and that's about it. Can you read chat a bit more? Yes, that's what I plan on doing. And let's see what else we got. Bannerlord 2. I've never played Mountain Blade. Can talk with you outside of lives. Yeah, actually, I think I'm doing like a little meet and greet for those local to Dallas-Fort Worth on Monday. So that should be pretty cool. Age of Empires 2, such a classic, man. I love it. Same with Batman Arkham as well. It's great. Make a Matrix room, please. Oh, okay. Yeah, Hikari, you do have an addiction problem to Warframe. Oh my gosh. What's up, Foss Lover? Thanks, man. If there any way to create a backup of a Linux machine in an IMG format, I believe... Doesn't CloneZilla do IMG formats? You could also just clone it using a variety of different tools. Obviously, you need to do it from a live environment, but you can totally clone it. Look up P2V, physical to virtual. There's a lot of different ways to do it. You can do direct IMGs, which I don't really recommend. Probably QCal2, or you could actually just do a direct VHD as well and just mount it that way. But in business, we do it all the time because there's a lot of times where you're moving a physical machine into a virtual environment, and you just need to take that machine without having to reinstall everything, and that's how you do it. But look up P2V. There's actually packages depending on what you're doing. There's P2V packages in Linux that you can use as well, which is really great. You look like Elon Musk. Oh, jeez. Ouch. Brutal. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, EMG is literally a DD. I don't really like EMG, or IMG, I should say. because a lot of it doesn't capture everything that you really need. So I really, if you're looking for a direct image and an image is what you want a usable image, I highly recommend researching P2V or physical to virtual. It's going to help you a lot, and honestly, you're going to use a lot in business if you're trying to get into like sysadmin work or something like that. Oh, it's working? Okay, cool. I was unsure. I was like, dang it. Maybe my website crashed. Maybe I got attacked. I don't know. Sit using without using MC is behind me. Yeah. I mean, it's everybody's different though, Henrik. All right. Let's do a restore of Shadow of Tomb Raider as well. Feel like that would be a good one. Go media. Come down into here. We got Path of Exile, Shadow Tomb Raider, Sky. Is that? Oh, Skyrim and The Witcher. Yeah, let's do that one too. Wait. Okay, cool. Just making sure I'm putting it on the right disk. It is not Debian testing or stable. We're on SID. Bleeding edge, baby. Mainly because chat goaded me into doing SID. So are you happy with your 5600X? Hell yeah. 5600X is amazing. Love it. Oh, Billy. Yeah. Called you about your domain, who is. Yeah, man. That's back when it had my old address in there, but yeah, man, I appreciate the call. I had like my public information on one of my domain, who is, and Billy called me up. He's like, hey, is this Chris Titus? I'm like, maybe. And he's like, hey, your whoas is available to everybody. You might want to take that down since you're on YouTube. Have some freak show up at your doorstep and not be good. And I'm like, oh, okay. So appreciate that, Billy. Oh, good looking out, man. Yeah, Sid's awesome though. I think a lot of people don't realize I was on Debian Sid for 6 months on my main rig when I was inside the house. That would have been January to about whenever I finished the studio. That whole first bit of YouTube was all done Debian Sid. What level is your TH? I want to say that's like Treasure Hunter for Final Fantasy XI. That's kind of like what's sticking in my head when you say that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's not what you mean. So, Town Hall. Oh, I think it's like 8 on Clash of Clans or whatever it is. It's been a long time since I played that game, though. I remember when it first came out. According to you, which educational field is best? And also the same you will suggest to your children. Everybody's different. Everybody has a gift they were given, you know, that they're just born with. Some people are just more inclined for certain things. Figure out what that is. And it just depends on what that is. If you're going to be a doctor, then yeah, you got to go to college and do medical school and all that jazz. That's your jam. For me, it was computers. And I learned really quickly that college was a waste of time, that I'd waste an immense amount of money, probably put myself about $100,000 in debt to do it. And I was like, this is silly. I'd rather just get the experience up front. So I just kind of networked my way into IT. And while I did it, you'll get stuck if you don't have any higher education. So education is very important. If you can get it cheap, get it. And what I did to kind of hack my way through or get my foot in the door was do just a crap ton of certs. So I would read books, technical books, and I'm very good at like memorizing technical things. So I could just memorize a book in a weekend and then go take a test. It cost about $150, and I go take the test. However, if that's not your jam or you're trying to learn the source material and you can't do it through a book, There's technical colleges where, you know, I think they're a little scammy because they, you know, they have boot camps and other crap that's $10,000 and they just basically get you a cert. And in my experiences, anybody I met that took those were just paper tigers, where they had the credentials, but they just didn't know shit. And that sucked. You know, dealing with those guys, I had to fire several paper tigers because they just couldn't do the work. And at the end of the day, just remember that cert just kind of gets you in the door. And that's where, that's kind of what you need to be aspiring to get experience, but whatever means necessary. You're probably going to need some form of higher education, depending on where you're at in the world. That could be college, that could be a technical cert, that could be a lot of different things, and be looking for apprenticeships and those types of things to get your feet wet. Oh, sorry to hear that, DeBlob. Hope everything goes well for you, man. That sucks. Why do you think Ubuntu receives so much hate? It's the biggest. It's the biggest company. It's the biggest distribution. So whoever's the biggest gets more hate. Like, take Linus Tech Tips. He gets way more hate than me because he's bigger. Yeah. And that's, at the end of the day, that's, every hiring manager knows that, hey, if you're doing something, you look for experience first. And whenever, another thing I got to say is, whenever you're applying for a job, remember that the application and interview process is a different skill set. Learn how to properly interview. Learn questions you're going to be asked. Learn prep work, all that type of thing. Know what you're good at, know what you're not good at. And also, remember when you're applying for jobs, that's a wish list for the hiring manager. A lot of times, I would contribute to that wish list, but usually I just turn that over to HR and then say, hey, find us some apps. And then I would get 20 apps and I'd be like, okay, flip through them. I'll grab these 5 guys and interview them. And that's just how that works. That's the whole process. But just know there's plenty of times where I picked someone out that wasn't necessarily qualified on paper, but it just seemed like, you know, whether I knew it. I would say meeting that person in person is awesome. If you can get, networking is always paramount to experience and all that. Networking will get you anywhere. Like, I would say out of the 10 jobs I've probably had, probably 8 of them were from networking, and 2 of them were just someone that, one was headhunted and one was actually a blind app. So blind applying to places, I've only been hired once. Networking 8 times, and headhunted once, where someone just contacted me through, I think, LinkedIn, and then that was IT director position because they were looking for someone with a really unique set of skills. And I fit the bill, and they just like, hey, we're looking for someone with your skill set, and that's how I got that job. And yeah, that's just kind of how things go. Just give you a little behind the scenes. Have you tried Gentoo? What do you think about it? Yeah, I've tried Gentoo. Gentoo is really good for if you want a minimal setup. I made the Rove. I made a analogy earlier. Like, a good application of Gentoo is like your regular shop, like an ice cream shop, setting up a bunch of boards in the back that just display one thing. It does one thing, or it does a couple things, and that's all it needs to do. It's great for that because you don't really need to do anything other than that. Well, Stream Elements is starting to thank people for subscribing. All right. That's strange. Might need to look at that. Have you ever tried GTA 5? Yeah, I actually did a little, Greenish Man, I did a little video on getting GTA 5 working in Linux. It has some e-sync problems, and you have to kind of hack around a little bit. Back in the day, about, what, 2 years ago, GTA 5 didn't work very well on Linux. Probably works fine out of the box now. And, yeah, that was fun. Are you into cars? No. Like, I'm the biggest dork because I love computers. I love technology. There's nothing better, in my opinion, than those things. is Debian SID actually unstable? Or is it unstable like Arch Linux is unstable? I would say Debian SID is more stable than Arch. Debian SID is pretty darn rock solid. I would say it does run into bugs. There's going to be some updates, so definitely install Timeshift and do your backups if you're using SID or Arch for that matter, and make sure you have good backups for snapshots for when the inevitable bad update happens. But I mean, it's still a hell of a lot better than Windows track record. When is Linux going to come as a chapter in the computer subject? I don't know. I mean, pretty much all data centers run on Linux now. So it's very surprising that many people don't know it. I think you absolutely have to know Linux no matter what you're doing in IT, if you want to get into IT. Because you got security, you got infrastructure, you have all these things that Linux is pretty much a requirement. I wouldn't even look at an applicant that wasn't familiar with Linux. Maybe in mid-2000s, I didn't know Linux or touch a Linux server, really. Maybe some networking equipment I've dealt with Linux, but that was more of like me hacking around than actually knowing it. And back in those days, everything ran on Windows and Windows Server. Hell, you even push like DNS and all kinds of crazy things through Windows Server that you'd just be crazy to do these days. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at these days. I think you got to know Linux. You definitely still need to know Windows Server because most people still run Active Directory in business, so very important. Don't forget to install HSTR. Such an awesome tool. All right, well, we finished with this. We got some games now. Is this updating? Don't we need to... I was listening to, I think, Linux for Everyone the other day, and I think he mentioned, like, Proton Up. I've never used that. Anybody use Proton Up Linux? This is just all Proton VPN. Proton Up. Glorious egg roll. Well, I guess I should have copied that link from his video. I wanted to try that out, though. I was using something else for Proton GE. Let's go Proton GE Updater. Yeah, I was using Flubberding, which is he still up? Let's see if he's maintaining it. Nah, that's pretty dated at this point. What about this one? From Piming. Oh, look at this. Okay, 23 days. This is up. I don't think this is what this guy was talking about, but hey. That's something. What do you guys think? I'm going to check chat. Take it easy, Julian. Oh, okay. Makes reverse lookup on... I think I've used HSTR. History tool, I ping... Okay. Let me just go ahead and toss that in here. It seems very familiar. Oh, thanks, Baz. Much appreciated, man. I'm glad you're getting some value out of it. Yeah, Mint. I still love Linux Mint. It's great. Do you think it's worth buying a new CPU right now, or should I wait for the next generation? I think you can easily buy a new GPU right now. Or CPU, I'm sorry. Nobody can buy a GPU right now. How old are you? Can you tell me how long it usually takes to learn and get a CCNA? Learn and get a CCA usually takes about 6 months on average, probably. It depends on how well you are with Citrix machines or Citrix networking and how familiar you are with like Unix based things. Like if you're already familiar with like Linux CLI, you're gonna take to it like a fish to water, and you're gonna be maybe a couple months before you can do it. CCNAs are interesting though. like just getting one blind out of the gates a little bit rough because they expire, I don't know, every 2 to 3 years, I think it is. And it requires you to constantly be up on it. So if you really like networking, you really want to get into that, definitely do it. If you're just getting into the space, though, don't just blindly get a CCNA. I would highly recommend Network Plus, like CompTIA Network Plus, or CompTIA's Security Plus is also, it pairs well with that. Getting a good base with a CompTIA cert, probably a good jumping off point. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. Let's just fork this. Ooh, wait, there's a TKG updater as well in here? Whoa. Oh, okay. That's Arch Linux only. It's like, hey, hey, hey. Still interesting, though. Well, let's run this guy. I'm curious to see how well this thing does. Let's run this random script off GitHub that I Googled. Why not? Make directory build, cd build. Ah, I spelled clone wrong. Proton. Oh, did I spell? Ah. Those are executable, right? Okay. About to say what? How about CPU frequency utilities or indicator CPU frequency to change the CPU governor on the fly? Toby, I actually have that on the K-Focus. That actually comes built in. I've used indicator CPU frequency quite a bit. It's okay. It somewhat works. It feels a little bit buggy though. Not 100%. Like I constantly am like, I'm just gonna change it to performance. So I don't know if I actually like it. Yeah, all the songs are actually done by Harris Heller from the Alpha Gaming channel. It's all copyright free. Don't have to worry about anything. Oh, this is old KDE, man. Rocking the old KDE. With all my little tiling window manager hotkeys. So it's like a pimped out KDE. Yeah, this is actually new to me. So it's fun. Kitty, actually, one of the community members that's been with us forever, Digital Sparky, on this stream was like, hey, you need to use Kitty. If you don't like Alillicree, Kitty's better than Alillicree. And then I was using Terminator, which is worse than all of it. You know, it's like everyone was always cringing whenever I would use Terminator. I was like, fine. Let's try it. So Kitty is actually what I'm using. We could go ahead and make a new repository and upload those configuration files for Kitty as well. So if anybody else wants to use Kitty with my settings, they can. That'd be fun. Which I think... Can I just... Oops. Oh. Why don't you just use Windows? It just depends on what you're trying to do, Shadow. For me, I find just Linux, I get more performance out of my system. I also have a lot more productivity for a lot of the things I do. So those are the pros to Linux. It just depends on you, though. I mean, I think a lot of Windows users just want a game and just are so used to doing the same thing for 20 years that it's really the only option for you. And, you know, going to like Mac seems like a foreign experience to you. Where, you know, you going from Windows to Linux is quite a jump, and it's really hard for folks. But I would say, you know, it took me probably 60 days before I kind of felt... I'm probably a little bit more of an advanced user, but I would say it took me about 60 days before I felt about as a proficient in Linux than Windows. And I used Windows for like 20 years. And then at probably about 90 to 120 days, you know, about 3-4 months,
I felt more proficient or more productive in Linux than I did Windows, where you know, it just depends on you as a person. It depends on your experiences. Obviously, these are just my experiences, and that this it's I still use Windows. It's not like it's like four-letter word or something, but you know, I'm trying to stay more in the Linux mainly because I'm just more productive. I still can't get over the way he mispronounces alacrity. Alacrity, right? Alacrity. I'm just doing it to piss people off. Trolling everybody, man. That's my game. Why don't you try DWM? Mainly for a lot. There is some really cool forks of DWM that I probably do where the compiling and things like that are just a little bit easier. There's nothing wrong with DWM, though. A lot of times I just don't have the time to learn it. What would be your reaction to hearing that an enterprise installs Linux Mint on its employees' workstations? I mean, it makes sense. Linux Mint's really solid. Can't really go wrong with it. Yeah, Peter did try to get me going. I think it was on a Twitch live stream. We were like, oh, okay. After 10 seconds, I was like, I'm done. It's pronounced alacrity. I know. What's your RAM usage now? Let's take a peek at that. That's a good question. What do we got? I got most of that's probably Brave browser. So if we do, let's do a sudo apt install htop. Let's see what the most. Let's sort by memory. Oh, Brave. So if, let's come over to Brave. Let's just quit that. See what it drops to. But then Steam is taking up quite a bit. Let's kill Steam. About, I don't know, without Steam or Brave going, about a gig, I guess. 1.17 is what we're looking at. Plasma Shell, K-Runner, Kitty, which is this terminal. And then a bunch of KDE stuff. So, not bad. There you go. I mean, that's a pretty bloated install. 3,300 packages. This is probably the heaviest install I've had in quite some time. What do you think of the unique and esoteric Puppy Linux distro? I know some people that absolutely swear by Puppy Linux. Some like veteran Linux users, that's just what they rock. I want to say like Matt Hartley uses the crap out of Puppy Linux. Or maybe, no, he's not Puppy Linux. I don't think he is. I remember him using some offshoot Linux though, kind of like Puppy. You have a weird definition of pretty. Eh, you know, to each his own. Is a fresh install with 3,324 packages. Oh, every veteran Linux user just collectively cringed. Yeah, I mean, I could add them. Again, tiling window manager is just not my jam. You know, I don't have the time to really put into it to really make it worthwhile. The only thing I would do when it comes to tiling, like Qtile and some other ones that I'm looking at, is for ricing. Like, if I was going to jump into it, I don't think I would want to explain all the intricacies of any tiling window manager, really. So if I jump into it, it's mainly to achieve a certain look. And that's why I would use one. If you know, Unix porn from subreddit, you could go into there. A lot of the ricing that happens is done on tiling window managers, where we could totally do something like that. Yeah, Awesome is the tiling window manager. I'm pretty much ditched Awesome too. I know I have a GitHub project about Awesome, and I've used it quite a bit, and I've customized it, but yeah, I think moving past that to do just achieving a certain look or a rice is where you'll probably see a video about it. Like I said, the next one I'm looking at is Qtile to do a certain look. Yeah, I'll show you kind of what I talk about with that. I'm spelling this wrong, but maybe Google can fix it for me. So this guy has a GitHub article, uses all these different ones like Alacrity, Qtile, all that good jazz. To where this is kind of what it looks like, and let's see if I can't. What is the hotkey for zoom? About 50 should get us there. Ah, crap. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to save the image. All right. Let's just look at this. All right. View. Let's go actual size. All right. And we're going to do a little zoom here. A little zoom action. I do not use this, but all right, now get something like this. There we go. So this is kind of what I'm looking at when it comes to ricing out a system. This is using Qtile, heavily modified Qtile with dot files. You can see kind of like the quick launcher up in the top right here. This is using Alacrity. I'll probably change this around to use Kitty, just like what we're doing on this install. Notification Center, just kind of changing the way we use our computer and making it look super, super duper clean. Like, this is just amazing. This is actually... I don't know what browser that is. Oh, it's Firefox. That looks like a pimped out Firefox. You got your... it looks like VS Code. Your Discord. Yeah. So that's kind of like my thought process behind exploring something like that. Just exploring like the base install, or just kind of getting like hacking it there to make it look a certain aesthetic I don't like. To where ricing out a system like that is really what we should do. Maybe I'll do it on the next live stream. Kari. He's like, damn it, now I'm the only Material Awesome maintainer. So true. Well, maybe I'll come back to it. I still have it on my Raspberry Pi. Yeah. Exactly, Toby. Check out that subreddit. No, Adam, I'm pretty much just using stock Android at this point. Yeah. Yes, Firefox can look nice. True. Have you considered upgrading your rig? Not really, man. I kind of like just having a run-of-the-mill rig. 5600X, which is pretty darn good. However, it's a budget CPU. It's not what other YouTubers are using. You know, they're probably got like a 5800 or a 5950X with, you know, some crazy 3080 or some crap. And that's just, it's just not my style. Now, if someone wants to give me that stuff, yes, I will take it. Yes, I will use it. But I don't really do product reviews. Occasionally I will, but very, very rarely. And it's just, I don't have the connections to make that happen. If I ever got that, though, yeah, I would totally upgrade. But I'm not going to go out of my way and spend a crap ton of money to have something that, frankly, I don't really need. Is Cube's OS really that good for privacy? Yes, it really is. Compartmentalization is really the key to why it's so good. Because you're going to get exploited, there's going to be things that make you vulnerable. Compartmentalizing that, think of it like the Titanic, or maybe not the Titanic. It's probably a bad analogy, but having those little containers where you can be exposed in a couple places, but it's not going to infiltrate the rest of your system. That's why Cubes is so good. Draw. Jeez. I tell you. Do you also want a Linux channel of Linus Tech Tips that will host be Anthony? Hell yeah, man. I love Anthony. Does a great job. When people, yeah. I don't know why they call it ricing. I think that they stole it from the car scene because there was the rice burners of the car scene and someone took that and probably transitioned it over into Linux. Is Cubes or Tails better? Cubes. Tails is neat because you can kind of just dunk in there for a little bit on like a live CD and then just at the end of your session close out and then everything's gone. But Cubes is more practical for day-to-day use and fully compartmentalizing where you just don't get that with Tails. Yeah, I'm not a hardcore gamer to justify that expense. Totally true. Here's what happens, and maybe someone in the audience can relate to this. I will buy games and then never play them all the time. So much so I've bought like 2 games in the past 3 years, and those 2 games I haven't even played. I buy them, and then my son goes, "Are you gonna play this?" And I'm like, "Nah, maybe. I don't feel like it right now. I'm just gonna, nah, I'll get to it. I'm reading something." And I just never do. I just going full old man mode and just not playing games for some odd reason. I guess maturing? Yeah. Could you say something about Risk V? I don't know much about Risk architecture to really comment definitively on it. What about Cuban OS? I've never used Cuban OS. Yeah, play it for 5 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, cool. I got it. Yeah, in the 5600X, exactly alpha, it's a great CPU. It does pretty much everything I could want. I mean, yeah, there's sometimes I might do like some kind of compute task that I'm like, oh, it would be nice if I had a Threadripper. But there's never a time where I'm like, oh, this is really holding me back. That doesn't happen. It's called Steam Syndrome. Yeah, I've slowly been able to wean myself out of that. Yeah, no doubt, Hikari. It has been wild. We'll do some more Amarillo. This is a pretty cool game. What's your thoughts on Docker? Do you use it at all? Use the hell out of Docker. You gotta know Docker. If you don't know Docker, yeah, I don't even know how you're in IT. It's like Docker's so paramount and so important that, yeah, you gotta know Docker. It save you so much heartache too. And, you know, you cut down on how much resources and crap you'll use. Docker's amazing. I do need to learn more about Kubernetes and some of the clustering that you get from that containerized storage, much like Docker. I'm not as familiar with it, where I'm very familiar with Docker. Are you excited for Pipewire? Yeah, I started seeing Pipewire start to flow in and replace what? Legacy Pulse? on Linux. So that's pretty cool. Oh, speaking of which, I need to take off that screensaver. Darn screensaver's killing me. Let's see here. Splash screen, nope. Background service, nope. I think it's security and privacy that we have. Nope. Yeah, let's apply that. Want to say there is. I don't remember where the timeout is. Oh well. Power management, security, privacy. Nah. Oh well. I'll find it later. Not that big a deal. Yeah, you got a Threadripper to steal there, Hikari. Why did you choose SID over testing? I got goaded into it by chat. Both are good, though. You really can't go wrong. Testing's probably a bit more stable, though. SID, though, when it comes to Debian releases, even on SID, it's so good. Kubernetes versus Docker, which do you prefer? Docker because I know it, but Kubernetes is the future because it doesn't have nearly as much overhead, so to speak. Or Podman, yeah. I need to learn Podman. That's like a new Fedora one as well. Got to check it out. Oh, xset S off. Is that going to do it, Dan? Is it just xset? Oh. Wait, xset S off. Oh, well. I still have my Xorg I got to play with as well. I'll get in there. Hey, Alex, how you doing, man? We're almost to hour 4 of the stream here. I was about to shut her down. Yeah, Podman's a cool intro. If I'll leave you guys with this. Podman's pretty cool. Has a lot of promise. You'd probably need Fedora to play with it. Podman.io, manage pods, containers, container images. Oh, I don't have that. Just go podman.io. I think I can type that in chat, though. Podman.io. Yeah, that's totally cool with me. I don't like any power saving. But it's really neat. You got containerized storage a bit. I haven't, again, messed with it very much, so I can't really speak to it. You can do it on Arch Linux and Manjaro, CentOS, or Rocky Linux is what you should be using. Debian, Fedora. Yeah, pretty much everybody has it. Pretty legit, though. Pretty legit. Yeah, anywho. All right, guys. I think that'll do it for this stream. We set up some stuff here. I wanted to do a Debian stream, get back to it. And I was going to do this offline anyways, but I thought, oh, hell, I'm doing it. Might as well enjoy some chat and chilling while we hack around on a Debian install. I'm still working on that. Still have Rocky on the other hard drive and the Windows. So we'll still triple boot for a bit. But y'all have a wonderful night. I'm going to try and do a video, maybe. I've been kind of having a hard time doing videos lately. Inspiration hasn't hit, and I'll probably end up just copping out and doing a short video over how Microsoft is just completely screwing everybody over with BitLocker and encrypting everybody's drives and locking them out of their computers. Take about 5 minutes to explain that and show how people fix it. I think that'll be a good short video that I'll probably knock out later today because that's easy. And I can't think of anything else that I can really dive into just yet this week. But next week, I'll get something else and do something fun. Thoughts on Razer? I think their hardware is okay as far as gaming hardware goes, but their software is atrocious. Stay away from Razer software. Yeesh, rough. It's not night for me yet. It's about mid-afternoon, about 2 o'clock. Starting to get a little hungry. I haven't had lunch. Scanning on Linux is a video I'd like to see. I did a vulnerability video. If you hadn't checked that out, definitely check that out. There's a good video. I went over Linux vulnerabilities, how to see what your system's doing. Are you vulnerable? That type of thing. It's really good. Yeah, man, videos are great. Like, even if you don't have motivation, the beauty of what we do is as long as you can just think up something off the top of your brain that people would probably like to know or need to know about that is valuable, you can just do that. Just do a quick tutorial, like showing people how to break into BitLocker will take me maybe 5 minutes, and there'll be a lot of value there. And the Linux user probably get a good chuckle out of Microsoft doing it and explaining that situation of how they're auto-encrypting people's drives and how to undo that. I think it's funny, but easy, and even without motivation, doing a quick video like that's just fun, and it doesn't take much effort, so that's good. Oh, document scanning, yeah, like OCRing. Such a tough topic to hit, but oh, really? Razer auto install softener now when you connect their hardware through a USB port, just like malware. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the same thing's happening with motherboards and many other manufacturers. They're auto-installing a lot of things. Probably the worst manufacturer I've seen guilty of this is Asus, which I love Asus stuff. It's just their motherboards have grown a little bit bad when it comes to the bloat of the software and crap they throw in there. And then most of it, the software is just to control like the RGB in your system while collecting information, which, ugh, don't get me started on that. You sound like an old smart man. That's great. All right, guys. Have a great one. Love you all. Take it easy. Have a great weekend if I don't see you before then. And yeah, be looking for that BitLocker video probably coming out towards either Friday or Saturday, depending on how things go. So with that, guys, take it easy. Have a good one.